Now, at Kroger, there's a brand new way to minimize your food costs with tender, lean, thrifty beef. Thrifty beef is the economical meat choice because it's naturally leaner and priced to save you more. And remember, thrifty beef is unconditionally guaranteed. If you're not satisfied with any cut, just return it to Kroger for replacement or a full refund. Tender, lean, thrifty beef. New from Kroger to help minimize your food costs.
U.S. good, tender, lean, heavy beef round steak, only 98 cents a pound at Kroger.
Say, how'd you like to save a lot of money on a brand new car that looks and rides almost the same as a 75 Impala? Well, thanks to Friendly Chevrolet, you can. Several months ago, we realized the rising costs had forced large price increases on 75 Chevys, so we ordered cars. Enough cars to fill acres of storage. And now, when other dealers are out of 74s, we still have plenty. Come on down to Friendly and save a lot of money. That's just another reason why Friendly's the #1 new car dealer in the Southwest.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Some people call our kind of entertainment escape fiction. Well, that word has never been more appropriately used than to describe the story you're about to hear. It's about a man with a most unusual profession, a man who makes his livelihood by making escapes. But now, the great Fellini is going to cap his exciting career with the greatest escape of all, even if it turns out to be the last escape. And if you think Houdini took great chances, wait until you hear what the great Fellini has in mind.
That's right. I'm going inside that box in a bathing suit, and they're going to dump me right into the middle of the lake.
Joe, but that's crazy. It's too dangerous.
What you mean is I'm too old for it, huh? But I'll show you, baby. I'm not too old for the trick. Or for you.
Our mystery drama, The Last Escape, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Henry Slessor and stars Joan Lovejoy and Robert Dryden. It is sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
When you buy a mid-sized car, you expect certain things from it. Mainly, a reasonable combination of comfort and economy. Well, friend, Buick has a mid-size to meet your expectations. The 1975 Century Regal. It's a joy to look at. A joy to ride in, and Buick's new V6 engine makes it a joy to drive, especially past gas stations.
Buick Century Regal, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Sure, I've heard that phrase, give to the college of your choice. Good idea. And I know all colleges need more money, what with inflation and all. It's just that since I graduated, I've been so busy, not just with my career, but with the community affairs, too. I haven't found the time to reevaluate.
Take the time now and give more to the college of your choice. Now.
A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
Kitchen appliances are power tools, too, just as much as drills and jigsaws. Hi, Frank Lieber here to tell you True Value hardware stores have that kind of power tool, too. Kitchen appliances that help cooks create. A West Bend party percolator, for instance. It makes a lot of coffee, 20 cups, and then keeps it hot. If you ever had to make coffee for 10 with a 9-cup percolator, you know the advantage of that. It has a durable polypropylene body and a two-way spigot, just $9.99. And there's a Toastmaster broiler oven, one that cleans itself as it cooks. In one position, it broils and grills. Flip it over, and it bakes and roasts. It's just $32.88 at True Value hardware stores. And there's a Hamilton Beach 14-speed blender. It comes with 2 special plastic containers. You can blend food in them, then store them away in the refrigerator. Just $19.88. Kitchen appliances are power tools, too. Just a few of the values at participating True Value hardware stores.
famous Tropicana Supper Club. The music is playing, the palm trees are swaying, but unfortunately, the music is being produced by a sleazy three-piece band, the palm trees are papier-mâché, and the Tropicana isn't in the tropics. It's New Jersey. If there is any glamour here, it's the glamour of illusion. And that's what the customers have come to see.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's what you've all been waiting for. Direct from command performances in London, Paris, and Rome, the man who defies ropes, chains, locks, handcuffs, steel boxes, and prison bars, the one, the only true successor to the immortal Houdini. Here he is, Fellini the Great! Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure to be here with you this evening. You know, some people have asked me why I do these things. Why I continue to risk injury and even death in order to demonstrate my ability to escape from any bonds devised by mortal man. But let me tell you the reason. It's because of a deep, abiding love of liberty, to demonstrate the indefatigable spirit of man in his quest for personal freedom. A freedom which each one of us enjoys in this wonderful country of ours. And now I'd like to introduce you to a lovely young lady who is going to assist me in my demonstration this evening. Here she is, Miss Wanda Wilson. As you can see, Miss Wilson is holding something in her hand. It's a straitjacket designed to restrain the most violent madman. Madness, as you know, often increases the strength of its victim enormously. But this jacket has been created so skillfully that experts will swear that there is no way out of one. The great Houdini, however, once proved that it can be done. And tonight, before your eyes, I am going to attempt to duplicate his astonishing escape. Wanda?
Yes, Fellini.
Please ask two men from the audience to assist us.
Yes, Fellini. Well, how about, what about you two gentlemen? Will you help out? Oh, thank you very much.
Now, if you two gentlemen will just put the jacket on me. Yeah, that's right. I fold my arms around my torso, and then you secure every strap. Yeah, that's it. Just as tight as you can now. Yeah, that's right. Every single one of them. A little tighter. Tighter. Make sure there's absolutely no way I could get out of it. Thank you, gentlemen. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to spare you a sight of my agonies, Wanda will place a screen in front of me.
Here it is, Fellini.
Wanda, can you come here a minute?
No, Tommy, not now. The actor's on. I've got to talk to you.
Can you meet me later?
I don't know.
Please.
I'll try. That's all I can say.
All right, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, now one strap is torn or broken. The straitjacket is in perfect condition. But I am free. I'll tell you one thing about this escape. You don't have to be crazy to try it, but it helps.
Wanda, I'm over here.
Tommy, I can't talk too long.
Why'd you come out without a coat? You'll freeze to death.
Well, I couldn't very well have put a coat on. Joe would have asked where I was going.
Where is he now?
In the dressing room. I got to get back there.
He really keeps tabs on you, doesn't he?
You know how he is. What did you want?
You know what I wanted. To see you. To see you alone for a change.
Oh, Tommy.
They really liked your husband tonight, didn't they?
Oh, it's that kind of a crowd. They liked you, too.
Thanks.
I didn't mean it that way. I mean, well, you know what I think of you, Tommy. Your singing, I mean.
Is that all you mean? My singing?
Tommy, don't. Not here, not in this filthy alley.
Where
then there's no place I can ever see him. No place at all.
But it can't be helped. Joe has to know where I am every minute. He goes crazy if he doesn't see me around all the time. Not that he's jealous. He thinks too much of himself to be jealous of me. He just has to know I'm around, admiring him, waiting on him hand and foot.
He treats you like a slave.
Tommy, I got to go. He's probably foaming at the mouth right this minute.
Wanda, please, listen. One kiss. One.
All right. Oh, Lord, why does someone like you have to come along now?
Hey, where were you?
I told you I went to get some cigarettes from the machine.
You shouldn't smoke. I never smoked in my life. You think I could have lungs like mine if I smoked? I got the lungs of a 20-year-old, you know that?
Yeah, I know.
Boy, I really felt good out there tonight. I could have done a steel box bust out tonight. That's how good I felt. Hey, you see that little guy who put me in a straitjacket? Little guy thought he was going to fix me. See how tight he worked the straps?
I was there, Joe.
The little guys, they're the worst. It's a pleasure to fool them.
Joe, what do you say? You just going to keep staring into that mirror all night?
I like what I see. Don't you like what I see?
I never knew anyone who liked to look at himself the way you do.
49 years old. Nobody would ever take me for 49. What do you say?
You're a Greek god, Joe. And speaking of Greeks, we're invited out to dinner tonight. Roscoe is buying.
Roscoe, he spoils my appetite. You hear him talk, the escape businesses. He should have seen that crowd tonight, that's all I say. He's no different.
Well, he booked you into this job, didn't he? You ought to know if it's or not.
Only thing wrong with the escape business, it don't get enough publicity. That's the only thing.
All right, Joe.
Everything comes back. Old movies come back, old songs, even old clothes. Only you gotta make a splash. And I mean a splash.
Joe, you're not going to start that again, are you?
Start what?
With Roscoe. You're not going to start talking about that water business again, are you? I'm sick of that subject.
You're getting old, Wanda. That's your trouble. The water trick is the best idea I had in years.
Don't talk to me about age. You're no chicken, Joe, and don't forget it. An escape like that could be too much for you to handle.
So I'm no chicken, huh? Listen, sugar. I count 10 new wrinkles on your face since last week. Take a good look in a mirror.
Oh, stop it, Joe.
Go on, take a look.
You're hurting me.
Go on, I said. Look at yourself.
Stop it.
You calling old, huh? I'm younger than you, baby. On account I keep in shape.
All right. Let me go.
That's right. Turn on the tears.
Not everybody thinks I'm old, Joe. Not everybody.
You should have seen me tonight, Phil. I was the best. That crowd really ate it up. Didn't they, Wanda?
Yeah, it was a good crowd for that crummy joint.
Don't knock crummy joints, not if they pay off every Friday.
Listen, after tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if they booked me for another month.
I'd be surprised. You close next week.
What?
I told you it was a 3-week engagement, Joe.
Yeah, but you said... maybe it would go longer.
Well, that's as far as it goes.
Okay. Okay, we'll find someplace else, right? Someplace better than that crummy Tropicana.
Sure.
I'm telling you, Phil, the escape business is coming back. And when it does, I'm going to be right on top.
You're practically the only one left.
All I need is one good break, one good publicity stunt.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Starting with that water trick again?
Yeah, that's right.
Thought you were going to stop bothering me about that.
I don't stop bothering you until we do it.
Look, Joe, you know as well as me that times are different. 20, 30 years ago, a good press agent could ballyhoo an escape artist right onto the front pages. Only Houdini's been a long time.
Sure, Houdini, but I'm alive. Me, Joe Fellini.
It's one thing about you, Joe. You never had any trouble with false modesty.
Listen, what could Houdini do that I can't? I work with the ropes, the chains, irons. I can get out of boxes, bags, hampers, chests. I can do all the handcuff routines. Nobody does a faster straitjacket than me. Besides, you know that Houdini used a lot of phony trick stuff.
And I suppose you don't?
Sure, sometimes. I got my skeleton keys, my phony bolts, and all that other junk. But you know me, Phil. I do my best tricks with muscle and brains, right?
Sure. You're the greatest, Joe.
Yeah, I keep in shape. Ask Wanda here. 1 hour a day with the barbells. Yeah, I still got a terrific chest expansion. I can do this water trick, Phil. It'll be great.
You know something, Wanda? Maybe the only way to stop your husband from talking about this is to let him do it.
Oh, Phil, no.
All right, Joe, how do you plan to work the act?
I really do it up good, Phil. First, I'll let him handcuff me. I mean, genuine cuffs. All checked out by the chief of police or somebody like that.
And what makes you think I can line up the chief of police?
Then after I'm handcuffed, a rope around my body around 50 feet. Then they put me in a burlap sack and tie it up good. Then they put the whole works into a steamer trunk and dump me right in the middle of the lake. How's that sound?
Like sudden death.
Don't worry about it. 2 minutes after that trunk goes into the water, out I come. Then all I gotta do is swim.
And how do you plan to do it?
Oh, I ain't giving away no trade secrets, Phil. All I can say is I got a new gimmick that'll make him more sensational than even the water trick Houdini did.
Phil, you can't let him go through with this. It's a trick for a young man.
I can do it, I said. Just tell me when we start, Phil.
I'll tell you when, Joe. As soon as you can prove to me that you can swim.
It's really a miracle. I never thought you'd be able to get away from that guy, Wanda.
Oh, Joe finally went someplace he couldn't take me.
Where's that?
To a men's gym. He went to swim in their pool.
What for?
Oh, he's going to do a trick. He calls it the water trick. He gets handcuffed and tied and all that, and they dump him into the lake in a big steamer trunk.
Ooh, that sounds pretty dangerous.
Well, the only danger would be Joe getting too winded to swim to the surface. I know he can get out of the cuffs and the ropes and all that, but...
It seems to me that if the slightest thing went wrong...
Oh, he'll take all the precautions, or we will, rather.
We?
Well, I help him out with the trick part of it.
Oh. Then there is a trick.
Part of it's a trick, naturally.
But, even tricks go wrong sometimes, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Did anything like that ever happen to your husband?
Well, yeah, once. He couldn't open the lock on his handcuffs. See, he had a key hidden in the cuff of his trousers, but it slipped out of his hand and fell between the cracks of the floorboard. He wasn't hurt or anything. It was just a wicker basket escape on stage.
I see. But if anything like that happened now, I mean, at the bottom of a lake...
Well, that would be terrible. It'd be awful.
Yeah. It would be really tragic, wouldn't it?
I don't want to think about any such thing. I just don't want to think about it.
No, of course not, Wanda. At least, we won't think about it tonight.
Well, unless I heard wrong, it sounds to me that I've just heard a conversation about murder. No, the word wasn't spoken. The plans weren't made. But it wasn't difficult to hear between the lines. Will Mrs. Joe Ferlini really spoil the grandiose plans of Ferlini the Great? We'll find out when we return shortly with Act 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ed McMahon. Welcome once again to $1 Million Question. Madam.
Yes.
What is your name, please?
My name is Jones, Geraldine Jones.
Geraldine Jones.
That is
We're
correct.
about to ask you the $1 million question.
$1 million?
If you're correct, yes, if you're correct, you will win $1 million.
Honey, hush.
Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, here's the question. What is the largest selling beer in the entire world?
Budweiser.
You're right. Good. You just won $1 million.
Would you give it to me in Budweiser?
Of course. Be sure and watch Flip Wilson. And the name of the special is Flip Wilson, of course.
My guests are going to be Peter Sellers, Lily Tomlin, Richard Pryor.
And, of course, Flip Wilson. That's Flip Wilson, of course. This Friday night on TV. Sponsored by Budweiser. Of course. What more can I say?
When you say Budweiser.
Of course.
You've said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
When's the last time you enjoy a really big chocolate bar. A big Three Musketeers bar. A Three Musketeers. Thick milk chocolate outside. Fluffy chocolate whip inside. Fluffy, not stuffy, so you don't feel full. A big Three Musketeers bar. Three Musketeers.
When your mouth waters for chocolate, bite into a Three Musketeers bar. Big chocolate taste that's easy on your tummy. Light, whipped-up chocolate fluffiness inside. Creamy milk chocolate outside. Three Musketeers. They're fluffy, not stuffy, so you don't feel full. Enjoy the big chocolate bar that's fluffy, not stuffy.
A big Three Musketeers bar. A big Three Musketeers bar. Three Musketeers.
The engagement is over for Ferlini the Great at the Tropicana Supper Club. But now Joe Ferlini and his wife have a new address, a small and rather shabby hotel which bears the name of Lakeview, undoubtedly because it's located on the edge of Lake Paradise. This afternoon, Wanda Ferlini is alone and bored, disinterested in her copy of Variety, tired of reading about the success of others. But then...
1 second. Tommy.
Hello, Wanda. Surprised?
Well, of course I am. What are you doing here?
Isn't it obvious? I came to see you. No. Scratch that. For publication, I came to audition for a singing job at the Lake Paradise Inn.
Is that the truth?
You know what the truth is. Look, can I come in?
Oh, yeah, of course.
I've already tried to get a job at the inn. Nothing doing there. But Ferlini doesn't have to know that, does he?
You shouldn't have come here, Tommy. It won't look right.
Where is he?
Joe? He's at the lake swimming. That's all he's been doing for days now, practicing his swimming.
Then he's really going to go through with it, the water trick.
Oh, he's coming through with it all right. His agent, Phil Roscoe.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he's actually getting excited about it. Can you imagine? He's been doing a terrific job of lining up publicity.
Publicity won't help Ferlini, Wanda. You know it won't. He's old hat. That escape stuff died when Houdini did.
You never know, Tommy. I mean, he's actually gotten the local chief of police to cooperate. He's going to make sure that the handcuffs are absolutely genuine.
But your husband can still get out of them, right?
Well, yeah, he always does.
How?
Tommy, I told you I didn't want to talk about that anymore. I don't like what you're... Well, you know what I mean.
You don't like what I'm implying, right?
No, I can't blame it on you. I'm the one who did all the implying. I'm the one who said that if one little thing goes wrong, Joe's a man, he'll drown.
One little thing.
We've got to stop this. Good Lord, we can't talk about murder like it's something casual.
Murder? Isn't that what we decided? Just because something goes wrong with the act, that isn't murder. We're not going to be arrested for it.
Please, Tommy, I'm trying to forget what we said.
Did you forget saying that you love me?
No. No, I didn't forget that.
Is it still true?
Oh, you know it is.
Wanda.
Tommy, don't. What if he walked in? Then you know who'll get murdered. You and me, both of us.
How's he been treating you?
Worse than ever. Every day it's worse. All he thinks about is the act, night and day. Escape. Oh, sometimes I think I'll go crazy, Tommy. I mean it.
Easy.
He wakes up in the middle of the night, throws off the covers, and takes a bow.
Wanda, what's this?
What?
These handcuffs. Are these the ones he uses in his act?
Well, those are the new cuffs.
The ones he plans to use for the water trick?
Yeah, that's right.
They look real, all right.
They are real.
And they're not trick handcuffs?
No. This police chief who's going to inspect them, he's an expert in this kind of thing. Oh, he'd spot a trick cuff in 2 seconds.
But Ferlini still gets out of them.
Well, he has to. Or he can't get out of the ropes, or the sack, and then the steamer trunk.
Okay. Then tell me how he does it. You must know, Wanda.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then show me.
Okay.
Hey, what are you doing?
Putting the cuffs on you.
I'm no escape artist.
I'll show you how to be one, Tommy. There. Now, see if you can get your hands loose.
Well, I can't. It's impossible.
That's right. It's impossible. Without this.
Oh, a key.
Yeah, just this tiny key. That's all it takes. Just turn the key and it's open.
Now, you telling me that he has the key with him when he goes into that lake?
Well, of course. There's no other way.
I mean, the key is hidden someplace, like in the trunk or the bag, someplace like that.
Oh, he can't take the chance with this trick. Every single piece of equipment will be thoroughly checked out by the police.
Well, then how will he manage the key?
Well, he hasn't told me that yet. Usually he has it sewn into the cuff of his trousers.
Uh-huh. And is that what he's going to do now?
Well, I just don't know, Tommy.
Well, all I know is this. What we talked about still makes sense to me. Very good sense. All you have to do is make sure that Ferlini the Great has the wrong key.
Look at that story, Phil. Just look at it. 4 big columns all about me.
Now, don't get carried away, huh? It's a big story, but a very little paper. Circulation 10,000, maybe.
Oh, that don't matter. It's a beginning, just a beginning. When I pull that stunt on Saturday morning, I'll be on all the wire services. You wait and see.
I just hope you don't end up in the obituary column.
Stop worrying about me.
Well, I'd worry a lot less if you'd tell us how you're going to do this trick, Joe.
That's what I keep asking him. I've been working for this guy for 18 years, and I know every stunt he pulls. Only this time...
This time, I'm doing something different, something really terrific.
Look, will you tell us what it is, Joe? I'm knocking myself out, rounding up the press, getting the police to cooperate. I even got us a motorboat free of charge to take you out in the middle of the lake.
Yeah, you're doing a real good job, Phil. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
I haven't even told you the best part. I got a big news magazine guy coming out.
What?
That's right. It's a guy I used to know a long time ago. He works on the show business section. I talked him into coming out. If he likes what he sees, well, who knows? You might get some pretty good national publicity.
Hey, that's great, Phil. That's just terrific.
Only I'll tell you this, pal. If I don't learn some details, I'm going to be tempted to call the guy and put him off. I don't want him to come all the way out here just to see a guy get himself drowned. That's not the kind of news I want to see printed.
Come on, Joe. Tell us what you're going to do.
Okay. Want the scoop? Here's how it goes. The steamer trunk is no problem. You'll have a phony bottom. The canvas bag is no sweat either. That'd be the usual type I use. Pull the thread on top, the whole seam comes open.
Yeah, I know about those gimmicks.
As for the ropes, that'll be pure muscle. I'll just make with the chest and muscle expansion. By the time they load the trunk on a motorboat, I'll be out of the ropes. By the time they're ready to dump me in the lake, I'll be out of the canvas bag.
But first you have to get the handcuffs off.
Sure. That's the most important part.
What's it going to be, the key in your cuff?
Well, what's so funny?
There ain't going to be any cuffs.
What?
You heard me. I figure that's the first thing those smart guys will be looking for. Me having a key hidden. So I'll fool them. Completely.
How?
I mean, I'll let the cops examine me from head to foot to make sure I'm not hiding a key on me. And instead of pants, I'll wear a bathing suit.
Are you nuts?
Joe, you've got to have a key. There's no other way to get those handcuffs open.
Oh, sure. I'll have it on me. Because you're going to pass it to me, honey.
Me?
That's right.
Well, how will I do that? And then get away with it?
Ah, that's the part I just dreamed up, and it's a beauty. You're my wife, see? You're going to have to kiss me goodbye before I go into that steamer trunk, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what you have in your mouth when you give me that kiss?
The key.
Yeah, that's right. You'll kiss me bye-bye and pass that key from your mouth to mine. And that way, I'll be able to slip the key into the lock with my teeth. Get it?
It's a good gimmick, Joe.
It's beautiful, Phil. Beautiful. beautiful. It can't miss.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense. Nobody would think it's strange that I kiss you goodbye.
Yeah, the most natural thing in the world, honey. After all, any wife would kiss her husband when she may never see him again.
That's it, Joe. Just breathe deep. Get plenty of oxygen into your lungs. You're going to need it.
Oh, stop worrying about me, Phil. I feel great. I feel terrific. Hey, how's that crowd out there?
It's okay. Maybe 100 people. I didn't count it.
Yeah, but that guy's there, isn't he? One from the news magazine?
Yeah, he's here, and a couple of other newspaper guys. One of them from New York.
Yeah, it's going to work, Phil. I can tell. I'm going to really make it back to the big time.
Well, if you're ready, the chief is waiting for you.
I'm ready.
Chief Wallace, I'd like you to say hello to the great Ferlini.
How do, Mr. Ferlini? I sure hope you know what you're doing.
Ferlini, this is Mr. Ralph Crimmins, president of the local Chamber of Commerce, Frank Petty of the Lake Paradise Tribune, and you've already met Dave Brooks, our motorboat pilot.
Well, let's get started, huh? It's a warm day, and I want to go in for a little dip.
Chief Wallace.
Yeah.
Would you begin by placing the handcuffs on Mr. Ferlini?
I certainly will.
Now, you've examined these cuffs, Chief, and you're sure they're genuine?
Oh, they're genuine, all right.
Would you clamp them on, please?
Right. There you are, Mr. Ferlini.
Now, if you other gentlemen will please tie this rope around the great Ferlini's body. Make as many knots as you wish.
Can I lend a hand there, too? I used to be a Boy Scout.
Oh, help yourself, Chief.
May I please have the canvas bag?
Right here.
Thank you. Now, as soon as these gentlemen have finished tying up the great Ferlini, we'll put the canvas bag over his head and lower him into the steamer trunk.
Don't worry, Wanda. I'm going to be fine.
Perhaps you'd like to kiss your husband goodbye, Mrs. Ferlini.
From the looks of things, I'd say that would be a very good idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, the motorboat has stopped in the middle of the lake. Now, please watch carefully. Now the trunk has been brought to the end of the boat. Chief Wallace and Dave Brooks, our pilot, are carefully lowering it over the side. There it goes, into the water. The steamer trunk has gone straight to the bottom of the lake like a stone. The great Ferlini is inside, in the greatest life and death struggle of his career. Can he work his way free of those steel manacles? Can he escape from 50 yards of rope bound tightly around his body? Can he get out of the canvas sack that covers him from head to foot? Can he break through the solid locks of that trunk and manage to reach the surface on time?
Wanda. Tommy, you shouldn't have come here.
I just thought it would have been better.
It's 15 seconds now. 15 long seconds for the great Ferlini.
Wanda, what? Is everything all right?
Please, don't talk to me now, Tommy. Not now.
I'm sorry. I've missed you so much these past 3 days.
I couldn't see you. You know we shouldn't be seen together.
Well, I don't see why not. Everybody knows we're friends. We met at the Tropicana.
30 seconds. The great Ferlini has been underwater, sealed in that trunk for a full 30 seconds, and there's no sign of him. Is he all right?
Wanda, I talked to the manager of the inn again. He thinks he may have a spot for me at the show at the end of next week.
For God's sake, Tommy, how can you talk about show business now?
Oh, isn't that what this is all about? Show business?
Wanda, for God's sake, what's happening out there?
I don't know. How should I know?
Why doesn't he come up? He said he'd be up in 20 seconds, no more than that.
I just don't know, Phil.
45 seconds and he's not up. He's got to be all right. He's got to be. Everything went just the way we planned.
Hey, there isn't a sign of him, not a ripple on the water.
He's gone. Phil, it didn't work. It didn't work.
He's not coming up. He's drowned.
No.
Joe's drowned.
Well, it looks as if the trick has failed. Or perhaps you could say that the trick has been too successful. The one played on Ferlini the Great by his not-so-loving wife. Now, the question remains, will the crime go unpunished? Or does fate have at least one more trick up its sleeve? We'll find out shortly when we return with Act 3.
There's a fresh new spirit sweeping the land. A free spirit that demands good products. Products that satisfy your sense of good taste and desire for for economy, but above all, products that perform. Buick has been touched by this spirit. And this year, our crisply designed, solidly built Buicks will bring joy even to the most demanding of free spirits. The 1975 Buicks, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Stanley Martin Handleton. Did you know you can have a college grad's career without 4 years of college? All you need is a year or two of technical education to work in fields like engineering, health service, automotive design, and forestry. The facts are in a free booklet called 25 Technical Careers in 2 years or less. Just right. Careers, Washington, D.C. 20202.
A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
If you want to buy a new home today, your problem isn't the cost of materials. It's the cost of money, high interest rates. Hi, Frank Lieber here to suggest you do this instead. Visit a True Value Home Center. The huge array of building materials you see there will give you ideas about what you can do yourself to renew parts or all of the home you live in now. The basement, for instance. True Value Home Centers can help you change it from workroom for washing machines to a playroom for people. Paneling to go over cold concrete block walls, in wood grains, colors, and scenic designs. Install it yourself. And hardwood parquet flooring to go over the old linoleum. Install it just like tile. You could even install a bar down there. True Value Home Centers have sinks, countertops, and plumbing fixtures, too. You supply the labor, they supply the materials, and some know-how if you need it. Come see what you can do with the home you live in now at your nearby True Value Home Center.
The great Fellini, his waterlogged body, still loosely bound in rope, still encased in a canvas bag, which became his shroud, still in the steamer trunk, which became his coffin, has been removed from Lake Paradise. Now it's a time of mourning and a time of questions.
I'm really sorry to be bothering you folks at a time like this, but in cases like these, we need to produce certain facts for the coroner's office. You understand?
Yes, of course, Lieutenant. It's just that there isn't much to say about Joe's death. Things went wrong. That's all there is to it.
Well, that's what we'd like to know. What things went wrong exactly?
Oh, how can anybody answer that? So many things go haywire with an act like that.
That's the truth, Lieutenant. An escape act is a matter of split-second timing. Everything's got to be done carefully, precisely. If one factor goes badly, well, you saw what happened.
I told Joe not to go through with this. He was just too old for such a dangerous stunt.
He'd never tried this water trick before?
No, never.
No. It was Houdini. Houdini did it. Joe always wanted to do something to make him better known than Houdini.
Houdini's been gone a long time. Did he still consider him competition?
Yeah, that's the way Joe was. Liber, the only thing that mattered was reputation. Fame.
Did you try to stop him from this attempt, Mrs. Fellini?
Yes, I did. I did everything I could. I pleaded with him. I begged him.
Maybe it was my fault, Lieutenant. Maybe I should have listened to Mrs. Fellini. But Joe just kept after me about it until...
His reflexes were too slow. That was the real trouble.
Well, that makes sense, I guess, Mrs. Fellini. But it isn't a fact. I still need a rough idea of what might have gone wrong. I guess that means you'll have to tell me how he intended to get out of that steamer trunk.
Well, I don't know if we can do that, Lieutenant.
You mean you don't know?
Well, I mean, it's still a professional secret.
The man is Mr. Roscoe.
Yeah, but just the same, I mean, well, you don't know the pride people like Joe Fellini take in their work, in their methods. If I tell you how he did his tricks, it would be kind of a betrayal.
Look, I appreciate how you feel, Mr. Roscoe, but I'm not going to publish any expose on the man. I've just got to supply some answers for the record.
Well, I just don't see the point of it. It could have been any of a dozen things.
Well, just name some.
All right. Obviously, he couldn't get the handcuffs off. The key must have dropped out of his mouth.
What key?
You didn't find a key?
We weren't looking for one.
Well, there was a key, all right. Wanda passed it to him before he got into the trunk.
But his arms were bound to his side. How could he open the cuffs, even with a key?
With his teeth. Joe's done that 100 times. But this time, well, he couldn't make it.
Well, we searched the trunk. It was empty.
It probably fell out of the trunk when they opened it. It's only a tiny key. A fish probably swallowed it by now.
I see. And if Ferlini couldn't get out of the cuffs...
He couldn't get out of the ropes, or the canvas sack, or the steamer trunk. And then the air began to give out.
Oh, Phil, that's enough, please. That's enough.
Yeah, Mrs. Ferlini, okay. I guess that's enough for today. It's pretty obvious what happened, and I guess it'll be obvious to the coroner, too. Death by misadventure. Death by misadventure. Now, that's what I'd call a perfect description.
Oh, how can you sound so happy about it?
Why should I be unhappy?
Tommy, the man he died a horrible death.
Died doing what he wanted to do. What more can a man ask?
No, you know the real truth. He died because of me. Because I gave him the kiss of death.
No, don't say things like
that. But it's true. It's absolutely true. I gave him his final kiss, and I passed the wrong key from my lips to his.
You don't have to worry about that. You said the police never found the key to the handcuffs.
No, they never found the key. They can't trace his death to me.
Well, then you're safe.
Safe? Is that what you call it? I killed him, Tommy.
You paid him back for a lifetime of torture.
He was never happier in his whole life. I never saw him so happy. He thought he was going to be so famous.
Look, try to stop thinking about it so much.
Do you think I slept a wink last night? All I could think about was the way that trunk looked when it slid into the lake with Joe inside of it. And the way we waited and waited. And,
Wanda,
and then the trunk coming up all wet and slimy and Joe still inside. Oh, my God, Tommy, I never had a nightmare that bad in my life. And it was all true.
Well, there's something else that's true. Joe Ferlini is being buried this morning. And that means you'll never have to worry about his mistreating you again.
Yeah. I won't have to worry about living with Joe anymore. Now I'll have to worry about living with myself.
You don't have to live by yourself. You've got me now, Wanda.
Oh, please, Tommy, not now. I can't listen to such talk now. Not on the way to the funeral.
Dear friends, we are gathered here today to consign the mortal remains of Joseph Martin Ferlini to the earth which bore him. Joseph Ferlini was a man of courage and strength, a man who devoted his life to bring pleasure to others. He was, in fact, a man who sacrificed his life to that devotion. He used to say to his audiences, I wish to demonstrate that there is something in the human spirit which cannot be chained. And there is something called the human soul which cannot be kept behind bars. This was Joseph Ferlini, who died performing the work of his life. And who can say...
Excuse me. Is this the Ferlini funeral?
Right. I beg your pardon?
I don't mean to interrupt you, Reverend, but this is the Ferlini service, right?
Yes, that's true.
Well, I'm sorry to break this up, but I'm from the county coroner's
Phil,
office.
what's going on?
I don't know. Let's go see.
Really, I can't imagine what this is all
I'm
about.
afraid the funeral services can't continue. You see, we have orders to attach the body of Joseph Ferlini.
Yes, but surely...
What's going on here? What's the matter?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Are you Mrs. Ferlini?
Yes?
Why'd you stop the service?
I have a court order. Now, the coroner is requesting a further examination of the remains.
What?
I'm afraid I'll have to open the coffin, Mrs. Ferlini.
Open the coffin? You can't mean that. He's going to be buried. You can't open his coffin
Come
here.
on, you can't get away with that.
I don't have any choice. Now, there's a caretaker's cottage on the grounds, and we can use that for the examination. Would you gentlemen please pick up the coffin and follow me?
Bill, don't let them do it.
Hush, one. It's all right. I'm sure it's just a formality.
Please, the sooner we get this over with, the better. All right, now
Please stand back while I open the
Oh,
coffin.
my God, I don't want to look.
Don't let it bother you, Wanda. You saw Joe when he was in the funeral parlor. He'll look just the same now.
Would you give me a hand with this lid?
Yeah, sure.
Whoa, whoa. It's empty.
Dear Lord in heaven.
What did you say?
Don't look, Wanda.
But he's gone. Well, how could he get out of his own coffin?
Gone? Did you say Joe is gone? He's escaped!
All right, Mr. Roscoe, let's hear the whole story from the beginning.
Look, I'm really sorry about this, Lieutenant. It was just something I couldn't help. I mean, a promise is a promise.
Yes, and breaking the law is breaking the law.
I'm not under arrest, am I?
Well, we'll determine that after you tell me the truth.
Well, you got to understand the way things are in my profession. Everything is showmanship. Everything. That's what my life has been for the past 30 years.
Is that how long Fellini was your client?
Practically. In the early days, everything was different. Ballyhoo, crazy stunts, way out schemes for getting publicity. You know how it is.
What about the missing body?
Well, it was like a pact that I made with Joe.
A pact?
Yeah. That's the kind of guy he was. A showman to the end. And I really mean the end.
Well, what was the deal?
He made me promise him that if anything happened to him, if he died, that I would arrange for one last escape. Something that would make him remembered even longer than Houdini.
Are you telling me this was all a cheap publicity stunt?
No, it was a trick, Lieutenant. That's the word for it. I slipped the undertaker $100, and he arranged to have Fellini buried someplace secretly. Then he put an empty coffin in the hearse with some slates in the bottom to give it weight.
Oh, for love of Pete.
Man from the coroner's office, he was a phony, too. It was an actor I hired so we could open the coffin right on the spot. You see what I mean? Showmanship.
Yes, I see what you mean, all right. But I suppose you know what the effect of your showmanship has been.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about Mrs. Fellini.
Yeah, I feel rotten about that. But I couldn't tell her in advance, Lieutenant. Joe made me swear not to tell anyone. He wanted the mystery to last forever and ever. The last escape of Fellini the Great.
But considering what happened to Mrs. Fellini, you had to tell the truth.
Yeah, I had to. Tell me, how is she, Lieutenant? Where have you got her now?
As a matter of fact, she's right next door.
How's she doing?
Look for yourself.
Oh, my God. Wanda. Wanda.
She's completely out of her head, Mr. Roscoe. And she isn't the escape artist her husband was. She can't get out of that straitjacket.
Well, so Wanda Fellini does go to prison for her crime. But in this case, it's the kind of prison whose bars are created in one's own mind. And it may well be the most cruel and unusual punishment of all. By the way, you may be interested to know that some doctors prefer to call a straitjacket a camisole. I think it's a much more suitable word, especially if it's going to be worn by a lady. I'll be back shortly.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your loves. But give your cold to contact. The sooner the better.
A common cold is a rotten thing. You miss so much. Sneezing, drips, and congestion can drag you down. Then ask yourself the contact question. 6 or 3 or 1. You'd need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of Cold's liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or just 1 contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief of those symptoms. That's daytime, then nighttime relief. Both the others have things for aches and fever, and the liquid, something for coughs. Not found in Contact 600 Tiny Time pills.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. Take Contact. Only as directed.
It's really a pity that the days of Houdini and his like like seem to be gone. However, we think Joe Ferlini was right. Everything does come back. And we can probably look forward to seeing a whole new generation of escape artists, magicians, and illusionists. In fact, you're enjoying one of the greatest illusionists of all time right this minute. It's called radio. Our cast included Robert Dryden, Joan Lovejoy, Joseph Julian, Russell Horton, and Bob Caliban. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale.
You mean she felt that guilty about what had happened?
Guilty enough to seek punishment for herself. And she did. She punished herself by losing the use of her legs.
And so your treatment was able to cure her.
Yes, I'm happy to say.
It couldn't cure me. See, I didn't lose the use of my hands for any kind of reason like that. I mean, it's just some sort of nerve damage.
Well, if that's the diagnosis of your physician, that it's purely physical and incurable.
But I didn't say that. See, I mean, my doctor has never used the word incurable. I have been hoping for years that it would just heal itself. I can't go on living like this. I want my hands back. Oh, dear God, I want my hands.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule. This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
Tremendous savings this week during Myers' 20% off sale. House shoes and Western boots for all the family. Ladies' sweaters and sweater coats, a famous group of men's dress and sports shirts, and many other items all reduced 20% off for regular prices this week. And you always get S&H green stamps at Myers.
Wherever you go, the families you know shop Myers Department Store.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Take a chair or stretch out on the sofa, whatever you like. Are you old enough to remember the opening of a popular daytime soap opera? And now, When a Man Marries, the tender story of young married life dedicated to everyone who has ever been in love. Of course, we've changed the title by one word and made it When a Man Marries. But everything is changing so fast these days, that shouldn't surprise anybody. The conventional wisdom is turning to nonsense before our astonished eyes. And the day may not be far off when the man, not the girl, walks proudly down the aisle to join his eager bride at the altar. Stranger things have not only happened, they are happening right now. Our mystery drama, Mind Over Matthew, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Elspeth Eric and stars William Redfield. It is sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
Never heard of beer on the rocks? No? Swell. The people who brew Budweiser never have thought ice in your beer was such a cool idea anyway. If you only knew how ice cuts down the head and waters the taste. Oh, a chilling thought. A downright tragedy with Budweiser especially. Budweiser is the king of beers. The only beer in America that's beechwood aged, naturally carbonated, which means Bud brews its own bubbles, tiny ones, over a dense lattice of beechwood strips. The beer ages the best way, the right way, naturally. But add an ice cube and bloop, there goes all that extra effort. So if you forget to cool enough Bud, skip the cubes and put your Budweiser on ice for a while on the coldest shelf in your refrigerator. Even if the wait does frost you a little, it'll be worth it. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Someone who probably knows as little about it as anyone else once told me that if a man hasn't married by the time he's 35, chances are he'll stay single all his life. Well, our hero, Matthew Parker, being 40, is about to become the exception to that rule. If it ever was a rule, which I doubt. Listen with me now to the tender human story of when a man of 40 marries.
Morning, Hester.
Why, Mr. Parker, good morning.
How are you, Hester?
Oh, I'm fine. Well, I must say you're looking very well. Very well indeed.
Oh, I feel very well.
Well, so what brings you here?
Is Dr. Caparata in?
You didn't have an appointment, did you?
No. I just took a chance.
Oh, well, his 11 o'clock is late. He's in his office.
Oh, good. Okay to go right in?
I think so, just not first.
Sure.
I must say, I've never seen you looking better.
Thank you.
Yes?
Hello, Fred.
Oh, Matthew. How are you, fella?
Well, you look great. Well, that's what Hester was just saying.
Well, she's right. You feel okay?
Marvelous.
So what do you want with the doctor? Not that I'm not always glad to see you.
Well, it's about my warts.
Oh, Matthew.
On my left hand, you know.
I thought we'd about given up on those. Warts are pesky things.
Oh, Fred, I can't give up, no.
Well, I've tried everything, Matthew. Why don't you just resign yourself?
I can't. I'm getting married.
You're what?
I know. I'm 40 years old, never been married, but, well, I'm in love.
Do I know her?
Mildred Cavanaugh? Well, she's only 20, Fred, but very mature.
Well, her father's a patient of mine.
Yeah, but you don't know Mildred.
Well, she's never been to see me, no. But...
No, Mildred doesn't have much use for doctors.
No? Well, say, I feel that way myself sometimes.
Yeah, Mildred says whatever's wrong with her, she can cure herself.
Uh-huh. How does she manage that?
By the force of her unconscious will. That's what she says, Fred. I don't necessarily believe it.
Mind over matter, eh?
Something like that. Oh, she's a very healthy girl.
Most people are at age 20.
No, she never even has the sniffles. Or if she does, she dispels them.
Yeah, well, all sniffles go away eventually.
Yeah, but Mildred's go away in, 2 minutes, 3 at the most. She changes her thinking and they go away. Fred, I'm telling you, I've seen it happen.
Matthew, any doctor is a fool who denies the power of the mind over the body, and I certainly don't.
You won't tell Mr. Cavanaugh I was in to see you, will you, Fred?
Well, I don't see why I should mention it.
Well, he might say something to Mildred.
So what if he did?
She'd kill me.
Surely not that.
Well, she's pretty violent on the subject. She says once we're married, I won't have any pains or sicknesses of any kind. She'll see to that.
What is she, some kind of a witch?
Oh, she's a sweet, lovely girl. And, Fred, I do feel better. I mean, healthier and stronger since I've known her.
I think a sweet, lovely girl at 20 would make me feel better, too, Matthew. Yes?
Your 11 o'clock is here, Doctor.
Okay, I'll leave. About my warts. Fred, we're getting married in a church. You know, it's very dressy and all that.
Well, you'll be wearing gloves, Matt. Nice, clean, white gloves.
Well, yeah.
Forget about the warts. That's my advice to you.
All right, if you say so.
I say so.
Look, I don't suppose I'll be seeing you from now on.
Listen, we're still friends, aren't we?
Of course. Well, I don't want to hold you up. So long, Fred. Goodbye, Hester.
Good luck, Matthew.
Goodbye, Mr. Parker. Well, why won't he be seeing you from now on, Doctor?
Well, he's marrying a young lady 20 years of age who doesn't believe in doctors.
Oh? What does she believe in?
Mind over matter. Or I should say, mind over Matthew?
Come to bed, darling.
In a minute.
Now.
Okay, Maddie. If you insist.
Oh, Mildred. You're so lovely.
Oh, wait a second.
What for?
Well, let me get rid of this headache.
You've got a headache? You?
I never said I was perfect.
Well, I'll get you an aspirin.
No, I never take pills of any kind. I've told you that.
Oh, honey, everybody
I
takes them.
don't. I never have, and I never will. Just let me lie here and concentrate.
Oh. What are you concentrating on?
Horizons.
There isn't any horizon, honey. This is our bedroom. Is it okay for me to kiss your shoulder while you're concentrating?
I guess.
Are you hypnotizing yourself?
I don't think so.
Are you in a trance? Let me look. No, you're not in a trance. You look kind of far away, but you're not in a trance.
I'm not in a trance.
Well, then what are you? Is this some kind of auto-suggestion? I've heard of that. That must be it. Is it?
I'm extending my powers, that's all.
Oh, extending your... That's all, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Is it gone yet, the headache?
It's going.
Oh, good. Gone?
Just about.
Tell me when.
Now.
That's marvelous, the way you do that.
It's nothing, really.
I mean, I couldn't do it to save me.
Oh, yes, you could. Anybody could. Didn't you say something before about kissing my shoulder?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to start with your fingertips. I'm going to kiss them, and then I'm going to kiss your hand and your arm and your elbow and right on up to your shoulder and then your neck.
Why don't you start?
Start? Oh, mm-hmm. Well, first little finger. Second little finger. Third little finger. Fourth little finger.
Maddie. Don't stop, sweetheart.
Oh, little wrist.
Don't stop.
Little arm.
Maddie, don't stop. I said, don't stop.
Oh, never.
Why did you stop?
Huh? I didn't.
It felt so good. And then you stopped.
I didn't.
You did.
Look, we'll start over, okay? One little finger. Two little fingers. 3 little fingers. Morning, Hester.
Why, Mr. Parker, hello.
The doctor in?
Oh, he's on the phone, but he'll be through in a minute. Well, long time no see. Married life agreeing with you?
Oh, boy. Yes, it's agreeing with me.
You look awfully well.
Oh, I am awfully well.
I guess a wife was just what you needed.
Well, this wife was.
She's very young, the doctor tells me.
20.
Pretty?
Oh, very pretty.
Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, the doctor's off the phone now. You can go right in.
Thanks.
Come in. Well, Matthew, good to see you, fella.
Hello, Fred.
Well, for Pete's sake, how are you?
Wonderful, just wonderful.
So this is not a professional call, eh? Good.
In a way, Fred, it is.
Oh, something wrong?
No, something right, I think. Fred, I think my warts are going away after all this time.
Well, let's have a look.
Here. See? Don't they look better to you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Mildred's been working on them, Fred.
Working on them? How?
Oh, not medically, Fred. Spiritually.
Oh?
They're like you said, mind over matter, but they are better, aren't they, Fred?
Yes, definitely.
They've been disappearing one by one.
That's what puzzles me.
Huh? Why? What puzzles you?
Well, warts don't disappear one by one, as a rule. Warts are small tumors on the skin formed by enlargement of the papillae.
Well, why shouldn't they go away one by one?
Because medically, that's not the way it works. They disappear all at once, together. At least that's been our medical experience.
Well, your medical experience must be wrong.
Huh? Maybe it is this time. Medicine has nothing to do with it, perhaps.
You mean it is Mildred that did it?
Well, I was never able to do it, that's for sure.
Mildred did it by the force of her unconscious will?
Well, I wouldn't know about that, but as I've told you, every doctor makes a little bow in the direction of mind over matter.
Yeah, but is it Mildred's mind or my mind?
Well, who knows?
Well, I wasn't ever able to do it before.
Matthew, I heard of a boy once who had warts. A lot of them. And his mother was in despair over it. But you know what she did? She told him she'd give him a quarter for every wart. You know what happened? The warts fell off one by one. Cost the lady about $15.
One by one, they disappeared, like mine are doing. Did the boy's warts ever come back?
Not that I know of. He and his mother left town shortly afterwards. It got a little uncomfortable for them. Everybody was saying she was a witch.
Is that what they called her?
Not that I think she was, necessarily.
Fred, how do you tell a witch?
Oh, I don't know too much about that, Matthew. Why don't you ask Esther? She knows everything there is to know about witches.
Well, I'd rather not talk about it to Hester, if you don't mind. Why can't you tell me?
Well, all right. Witches are very nice people, actually. So Hester says. I mean, they're not like sorcerers. Sorcerers tend to be malevolent, mean sort of people, making blood sacrifices and all that, weaving spells, concocting potions, holding rituals, all that sort of thing. That's sorcery. But witchcraft, well, witchcraft doesn't go in for any of that, Hester says. Witchcraft is just the use of our unconscious powers.
The unconscious will?
Yeah, the unconscious force or urge, well, whatever.
But Fred, how do you know who's a witch and who isn't?
Well, you really should ask Hester about that.
No, please. I want you to tell me.
Well, for one thing, Hester says that a true witch always has one spot on her body which feels no pain at all, which is completely insensitive.
Insensitive to pain. One spot.
That's what she says.
Fred, would it follow that this one spot on a witch's body that is insensitive to pain, Fred, would that spot be insensitive to pleasure, too?
Well, I suppose it would. Why, Matthew?
Oh, Fred, I think it's possible. I think it's just possible I married a witch.
When a man marries, he takes a chance. That's all I can say. He can marry a woman with a better mind than he has, which is humiliating, or he can marry a woman with a mind inferior to his, which is boring. But what if he marries a woman with a subconscious mind that is active and brilliant and on call at a moment's notice, while his own remains stubbornly sluggish and very, very sub? What then? Why, it could drive a man clean out of both his minds. I'll be back shortly with Act Two.
There is a fresh new spirit sweeping the land. A free spirit that demands good products. Products that satisfy your sense of good taste and desire for economy. But above all, products that perform. Buick has been touched by this spirit. And this year, our crisply designed, solidly built Buicks will bring joy even to the most demanding of free spirits. The 1975 Buicks, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Now, this message from Show Corporation of America. The best value in town for the George Foreman Muhammad Ali Championship Fight of Your Lifetime is the big screen color closed circuit showing at the Waldorf Astoria Grand Ballroom, 49th and Park, on Tuesday, October 29th at 9 p.m. You can watch it at the Waldorf with your friends in spacious comfort at reserved tables or grand tier boxes with drinks served from an open bar, all for just $45 with drinks, tax, and gratuities included. $40 per person in groups of 10 or more. Doors open at 9 p.m., and the Waldorf pre-fight program starts on the big color screen at 9:30 with the main event at 10. Get your tickets now by calling 421-9022. That's 421-9022. Or go to the Golden Lebang ticket desk in the Waldorf or other major midtown hotels. Act now. Get choice seats with drinks included for just $45. The championship fight of your lifetime. Watch it at the Waldorf. Special dinner package also available. Call 421-9022.
Our 40-year-old hero, Matthew Parker, has married a 20-year-old lady with an insensitive area on her right arm just above the elbow and a powerful subconscious mind. Matthew, on the other hand, has warts on one hand and a subconscious mind which has not shown signs of life in years. Mildred's subconscious is dispelling his warts, but the numb area just above her elbow is a mystery and a torment to Matthew's very conscious mind.
I haven't come clean with you before, Fred. I was afraid to.
Matthew, you can tell me anything. You know that. I'm your doctor.
Well, you won't tell Mildred, will you?
I don't even know your wife.
Yeah, but you know her father. Don't tell him.
Don't tell him what?
You won't tell him?
Well, I won't tell him. Now, what is it?
Well, Mildred and I, Oh, boy, is this embarrassing. You see, when Mildred and I go to bed,
come on, Matt. You're a grown man.
Well, I know, but this is so personal. I wouldn't be telling you at all if it wasn't for that witch business we were talking about.
Well, you told me you thought Mildred might be a witch because of your warts disappearing.
That's not the only reason. There's something else.
Well, why don't you tell me and stop stalling?
Well, Fred, you see, when Mildred and I are in bed, we start off, well, you know, with a little game, sort of. I mean, I kiss her.
Well, that's a good way to start off.
Yeah, I mean, I kiss each little finger, and then her wrist, and then her arm.
Okay, I get the picture.
Now, this is her right arm I'm talking about.
Does it have to be?
Well, it doesn't happen with her left arm.
What doesn't happen? For Pete's sake, Matthew.
Well, no, her left arm is okay, but you see, there's a little patch of skin on her right arm that, well, when I kiss it, she doesn't feel it.
Well, how do you know she doesn't feel it?
Because while I'm kissing her, Fred, I feel terrible telling you these things.
You have hardly told me anything. How do you know there's a place on her right arm where she doesn't feel anything?
Because when I'm kissing her arm, she makes all these cute little noises. You know, she likes it. She keeps saying, "Don't stop, Matty."
Well, go on.
Well, the first time I did it, you know, starting with the fingers, et cetera, I got almost to her elbow, and all of a sudden she says, "Why did you stop?" She was very annoyed, you see. She said, "Why did you stop?"
Well, why did you?
I didn't. That's what I'm telling you. She's got this place below her elbow where she can't feel me kissing her. Last time I saw you, you said that witches sometimes have a place on their bodies where they don't feel pain. Now, you remember that?
I remember.
And I asked you, did that mean they couldn't feel pleasure, too? And you said you suppose so? Well, I thought I'd make sure, so next time, instead of kissing her, I started giving her little bites.
Bites?
Well, I mean, not enough to really hurt. Not much, anyway. Oh, she loved it. They were more like nibbles, really.
I see.
Oh, Mildred was crazy about it. She kept saying, "Don't stop, Matty," just like before. And then the same thing happened.
When you got to just below her elbow?
Yes, I got to the same place just below her elbow, and all of a sudden she said, "Why did you stop, Matty?" Fred, I couldn't believe it. I simply couldn't believe it, so I gave her an extra hard bite.
Yeah?
Fred, she didn't feel it.
Well,
Fred, you think she's a witch?
Well, how do I know?
Well, you said one spot that didn't feel pain.
I don't know if that's true, Matthew. Hester told me that.
Well, I've got to know.
What do you have to know?
Well, because I do. I mean, it's one thing to marry a girl 20 years younger, but then to find out she's a witch, I mean, it's spooky.
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you what, Matt. Why don't you ask Hester?
Well, you can't talk to Hester about my own wife.
Well, just tell her that you've gotten interested in witches.
Well, won't she think that's kind of peculiar?
Witches are her favorite subject. She'll love talking to you about all that stuff.
Well, I hope that's all it is, stuff.
Go on. Go talk to her now.
Right now?
Yeah, I think she's back from lunch. Yes, she is.
You want me for something, Doctor?
No, but Mr. Parker does. He wants to ask you a few questions.
Well, fine.
Go ahead, Matthew.
Okay.
Well, what can I do for you, Mr. Parker?
Well, Hester, Fred tells me you're interested in witches and that sort of thing.
Well, I'm interested in witchcraft, yes. It's a fascinating subject.
Have you ever known a witch?
I think I've known several.
Well, tell me, did they have places on their bodies that felt no pain? No pain at all?
I suspect they did. Unfortunately, I never got close enough to find out for sure.
Well, that's the ultimate test, of a witch, that this completely insensitive spot. Can it be anywhere? I mean, does it have to be in any particular place, or on her? I mean, on the body?
Oh, any place at all.
Like an arm?
Any place.
Oh, I see. Thanks very much.
What? Is that all you wanted to know?
Well, Hester, is that a sure sign that the person is a witch if there's this one spot that doesn't feel pain?
And doesn't bleed.
Huh. Doesn't bleed?
That's right.
No blood?
No blood whatsoever. In that one spot, of course.
Oh, thank you, Hester. Thank you very much.
Are you leaving? There's lots more I could tell you.
No, that's enough for today, Hester. Thank you very much.
Mr. Parker left?
Yes, he left.
He find out everything he wanted to know?
Well, it wasn't much. I thought for a minute he was really interested in witches. There's so much I could have told him. It would have been a pleasure. But all he wanted to know was about the place on a witch's body that feels no pain and doesn't bleed.
You coming to bed, Mildred?
In a minute, Matty. I've got a stomachache.
Well, maybe you ought to see a doctor.
Well, you know how I feel about doctors.
Yes, I know.
But now, don't worry. My stomach will be all right in a minute. It's getting better all the time. Now, just let me concentrate. There. It's gone. All gone. Move over, darling.
You sure you're all right?
Oh, I'm fine. What'll it be tonight? Kisses or nibbles?
Which would you rather?
Nibbles. I love those little bites. They get me all excited.
Okay.
Now, first the fingers.
One little finger. Two little fingers. Three little fingers.
Oh, that's lovely. Don't stop.
Little hand. Little wrist.
Oh, Mary.
Little arm.
Oh, yes. Don't stop. I said don't. Why do you always...
Oh, Mildred, forgive me for what I'm about to do.
What are you going to do, Matty?
I already did it.
Did what?
You didn't feel it.
Feel what?
And you didn't bleed. Is he here?
Oh, Mr. Parker, what's the matter?
I gotta talk to him. Is he here?
Oh, the doctor's at the hospital. Office hours don't start till 9, Mr. Parker. What's the matter? Oh, here, come sit down. Well, you look awful.
I feel awful. I feel terrible.
You want me to get you a glass of water?
No, Hester, don't leave me. Stay with me.
Oh, Mr. Parker, what is it?
Hester, can I trust you?
Well, of course you can trust me, but what is it?
I was going to talk to Dr. Caparotto, but if he won't be here till 9, I can't wait that long. I could hardly wait till morning. I snuck out of bed at 6 o'clock. Oh, Hester, can I talk to you?
Well, of course you can talk to me.
It's about my wife. I feel so disloyal talking about her, but I've got to.
You can talk to me. Believe me, you can.
Hester, I think my wife is a witch.
Oh?
I'm practically positive.
Well, what makes you think so?
Now, first, it was the way she made my warts go away. You knew about that?
The doctor told me.
Then the way she makes all her own pains and things go away. Well, just last night she had a terrible stomachache, really awful, but she applied her subconscious will to it, and it went away. Just like that.
Well, witches can do that. That and more.
Well, I wouldn't have left her to come here if it hadn't gone away. I mean, I wouldn't have, no matter what she said, but she said she was fine, so I came.
You think she's a witch just because her stomachache got better?
Oh, no, that's not all.
Oh, well, what else?
Well, you remember when I was here the last time? You told me that a witch's body had a place on it that felt no pain?
That's true.
And that didn't bleed?
Yes.
Well, Mildred has a place like that.
Well, how do you know?
I know. Because I bit her.
You bit her?
Oh, yeah.
You mean just walked up to her and bit her?
No, not exactly, but I I bit her. Hard.
Well, how did you know where to bite?
Hester, please, never mind. I can't go into all that, not with you. But I knew where to bite, and I bit, and she didn't feel it, and she didn't bleed. Not one little drop of blood.
Well...
I mean, it scared me so I couldn't make love to her. I told her I had a headache. She wanted to concentrate on it and make it go away, but I told her no, I wanted to keep it. That made her mad.
Oh, naturally.
Oh, Hester, what am I going to do?
Well, what do you want to do?
Well, I can't stay married to a witch.
Witches can be very nice, you know.
Well, I'd always be looking at her and thinking, holy cow, she's a witch.
Matthew, may I call you Matthew?
Oh, certainly. We've known each other so long.
Look, Matthew, witches are people, flesh and blood people. The magical power they have only means they have a greater grasp on reality than other people. They have greater use of their extrasensory powers.
Real flesh and blood?
Of course. You see, witches live on the higher levels of consciousness, that's all.
Well, I'm trying to get used to the idea.
Oh, once you do, you'll love it.
Huh? Well, I guess I better go home.
Oh, must you?
Do you think I should tell Mildred I know she's a witch?
I wouldn't. It's possible that she doesn't even know it herself.
Yeah, she is very young. Maybe she hasn't found out. Yeah, I better go home. She really had a terrible stomachache last night.
Oh.
You know, for a witch, she certainly gets a lot of aches and pains, more than I do, really.
Well, she's only human, Matthew.
Well, thanks, Hester, for talking to me. It helped a lot.
Oh, I'm glad. Here, let me take you to the door.
Oh, I'm all right, really.
Oh, sure you are.
Thanks again. I'll be fine now. Who's that?
Who? Where?
Crossing the street. Boy, it's Mildred.
Well, is she coming here?
Yeah, it looks like it. She looks like she's in a hurry.
She shouldn't cross the street in the middle of the block.
That's right. No, she's up. Mildred, look out!
The truck!
Look out for the truck, Mildred!
Anybody want to take the witch test? I know my face bleeds because I cut it while shaving this morning, and it both hurt and bled. But there's all that other flesh that covers the rest of my poor old body. Would you have me go over it every inch with even the tiniest of pins? Thank you, but no. I've other things to do, and frankly, I'm not keen on finding out. Not unless there's a guarantee that I won't wind up under the wheels of a fast-moving truck. We'll come back shortly with Act 3. Poor Matthew. Poor 40-year-old Matthew, who married Mildred, a 20-year-old witch. Poor Mildred, who could make warts vanish and dispel her own aches and pains by sheer force of concentration, but who died suddenly and carelessly, albeit painlessly, under the wheels of a 2-ton truck. What price being a witch? What price being the widower of a witch?
Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate this, Fred. You know, the two of you coming over here for dinner. Oh, how's the steak, by the way?
Oh, it's great.
Marvelous.
You two are about the closest friends I've got now. You're the only ones who knew about Mildred. I mean, knew all about her. I'm really very grateful to you both.
Don't mention it, Matthew.
We're happy to be here.
Oh, you know, this is the first time I've seen anybody at all since Mildred got run over. I've been in shock.
Well, who can blame you?
Where was the second sight witches are supposed to have? She didn't even see the truck, and it was a big one.
Second sight doesn't mean sight with the bodily eyes, Matthew.
Well, it should, I think.
Well, the thing I don't understand is what she was doing on my street. Did she have any friends on my street?
No, Fred, that's just it. Our friends lived over in our part of town.
Mm-hmm. Well, then what was she doing there?
Well, it looked to me as though she was coming to see you.
She crossed the street right smack in the middle of the block.
Yeah, directly opposite to your office. That's how we happened to see the whole terrible thing. She looked as though she was in an awful hurry. She didn't look to the right or to the left. Just put her head down and charged across the street right in front of this huge truck.
Why should she be coming to see me? You think maybe she knew you were there?
She didn't know I was still seeing you.
Well, then why?
She couldn't have been shopping in my neighborhood. There aren't any stores. It's got to be that she was coming to consult me professionally. It's got to be.
No, Mildred wouldn't do that. Mildred took care of her own aches and pains.
Well, maybe this time she couldn't.
Well, she'd had a stomach ache the night before.
Was it a bad stomach ache, Matthew?
Oh, it was pretty bad.
But she got over it. She didn't take anything for it.
Mildred? Mildred would never take anything for anything. She just concentrated and the pain went away.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it didn't.
Oh, yes. She was fine in just a few minutes, and she was fine the next morning.
Pain isn't always a curse, you know. Pain is a signal that something's wrong. If we didn't have pain, how would we know something was wrong?
Well, it's our thinking that's wrong. That's what Mildred said. So when she had a pain, she changed her thinking.
Sounds so simple.
Yeah, for her it was.
Nope. I'm not satisfied. Matthew, I want your permission to do an autopsy on your wife.
An autopsy?
Yeah. I want to have her body exhumed and do an autopsy.
Well, will they let you do that?
With your permission. I think I can get her father's.
Yes, but what excuse will you give?
Oh, that there's a possibility she was, well, maybe ill, maybe incapacitated before the truck hit her, something like that. Do I have your permission, Matthew?
Well, Hester, should I say yes?
Well, I think you should. But look at it this way. It'll be the first autopsy ever performed on a known witch. Oh, hello, Matthew.
Hello, Hester.
And how are you?
Oh, I'm not too good.
I'm sorry. Is anything wrong? In particular, I mean?
Oh, I miss Mildred.
Well, of course you do.
You know, it's a funny thing. I was a bachelor all my life. I mean, I was 40 when Mildred and I got married, and we weren't married very long. You'd think I could just go back to being single.
Well, I guess it doesn't work out that way.
No, not for me. The only really good time I've had since Mildred died was the night you and Fred came to dinner.
Oh, that was very nice.
Did you really enjoy it? I know I'm not much of a cook.
Oh, I loved it.
Well, good. Maybe we could do it again sometime.
Look, how would you like to come to my place for dinner? I'm a very good cook. Or so I'm told.
Say, I'd like that. I'd like that a lot.
Sometime next week?
Or this week?
Tomorrow night?
Great. And look, we won't talk about Mildred at all, okay?
If that's the way you want it.
Well, sure. I've got to forget all about her and her being a witch and all that. You think Fred's done the autopsy yet? I'm darned if I know why he wanted to do that.
Well, he was curious about why a witch like Mildred would be coming to see a doctor.
Well, I don't know why I said, okay, go ahead, and then why her father said okay.
Matthew, Mildred's father knew.
Knew what?
That Mildred was a witch.
No.
Well, he suspected something. He knew she had these self-healing powers ever since she was a little girl. Now, she'd fall, skin her knee, and then she'd go off somewhere by herself, and in a couple of hours it would be all healed.
Can all witches do that?
Not all witches choose to do that. Some witches choose to do other things.
Like what?
Oh, like seeing into other people's minds.
Reading their thoughts?
Oh, what's so bad about that? We all have the same thoughts, more or less.
Well, I don't want anybody reading mine.
I wouldn't care if you read mine.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
Well, I just wouldn't.
You could, if you tried.
No, I wouldn't try. Listen, why didn't Mildred cure her father of anything? Tell me that. She cured my warts.
Her father didn't choose to be cured. Not by witchcraft. He was afraid of witchcraft. He chose to come here instead.
Why wasn't I afraid?
Oh, well, for one thing, you were in love. And for another...
Yeah? What's the other thing?
I think you'd better find that out for yourself.
Coming. Oh, hello, Fred.
Hello, Matthew.
Come on in.
Thanks.
I was just going to have a drink. Would you join me?
Okay.
Good. Hey, what brings you here? Not that I'm not glad to see you. I wasn't looking forward to drinking alone. It took me long enough to get married, but now that I've been married, I don't care too much for being alone. Here you go. Here's your drink.
Oh, thank you.
I don't suppose you could stay for dinner, could you? I've got plenty.
No, my wife's expecting me.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, but you're lucky you got a wife.
Yeah, I know.
You know something? This morning when I was having breakfast and reading the paper, I got so darn lonely, I just started to cry. I didn't even know I was crying, but all of a sudden I couldn't read the words, not even the headlines. I ran out of this place so fast, I went over to see you.
Yeah, Hester told me you were there.
Hester and I had a nice talk. It picked me up a lot. Oh, and you know what? She's going to cook dinner for me.
Well, that's nice.
Tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that. And Fred, you know what she told me? She said Mildred's father has known all along that she was a witch, or that there was something, well, odd about her, self-healing powers ever since she was a kid.
Yeah, that's right. That's why he agreed to the autopsy.
Oh, yeah, the autopsy.
Yes, I've got the results.
Yeah?
Matthew, your wife had a ruptured appendix.
You mean... But she said it was just a stomachache.
Well, she was wrong.
But, Fred, she made the pain go away. She told me so.
She was telling the truth.
Well, it must have come back then.
And this time, she couldn't make it go away. She panicked.
Her witch's powers failed her.
Well, let's say she just overextended them.
And she was on her way to see you.
Peritonitis had set in. She might easily have died, even if the truck hadn't hit her.
Oh, poor Mildred.
Yeah. Like I told you, Matthew, pain does have its uses. Or what are doctors for?
Hester, I want to help. Now, there must be something I can do to help, huh?
Well, now, you want to peel the potatoes?
Sure.
Well, just sit down here.
All right.
Now, here's the potatoes. Oh, peel about 4.
Uh-huh.
Here's a knife, and here's a lovely paper bag for the peelings.
Okay. Hey, this is great, sitting in your kitchen, peeling potatoes and everything. You know something? It's good that we're sort of the same age. Don't you think so, Hester? I mean, Mildred was so darn young. Boy, was she ever young. Of course, that made her attractive in a way, but in another way it didn't. I mean, you never heard her talk, but she had this sort of squeaky voice. I used to think it was cute, but I don't know. I mean, I think after a while it might have gotten on my nerves. Now, you, on the other hand, have a very well-modulated voice.
Do I?
Maybe Mildred talked that way from being a witch.
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
Matthew, you must understand that witches are not harpies or hags or conjurers or shamans. I mean, they are quite simple, ordinary people, really. Only they maintain contact with the deepest powers we possess. Other people lose that contact, but witches hold on to it.
Contact with what, Hester?
With the unconscious mind, Matthew. With that reservoir of strength and passion and feeling. With the simple, uncomplicated drives to fight, to conquer, to possess, to love and be loved.
Well, is that what it's like down there in the unconscious?
Well, don't you feel it is?
Oh, yes, I do.
You see?
Hester, I want to conquer you. I want to possess you. I want to love you, and you should love me.
Oh, I do love you, Matthew.
You do?
I always have.
Well, you never told me.
I wanted you to find out for yourself.
Well, say. I think I better get back to peeling the potatoes. This is all kind of overwhelming.
Oh, darling, well, you'll get used to it. Matthew, hey, look what you've done.
What have I done?
What's this?
What's what?
Here on the table.
Well, I don't know. What is it?
Well, I believe it's the tip of your thumb.
Well, yeah, the tip of my thumb?
Give me your hand. Your left hand. Here, put the potato down.
What?
There. You see? You've cut off the tip of your thumb.
Well, how'd I do that? Well, when did I do it?
A few minutes ago.
Hester, it isn't bleeding. There's no blood.
Not a drop.
But that's impossible. No. It's not impossible, is it?
Not for us witches, it isn't.
Us witches?
Nothing is impossible for us witches.
You too?
Me too. Oh, darling, don't look so unhappy. Witches are just like ordinary people. Only better.
Witches are just like ordinary people, only better. You know, that sets me to thinking. Not always, but at various times, I have felt that I was, far from ordinary. The feeling never lasted very long, but while I had it, it was very intense. Could it be? Oh, no. And yet, perhaps it's true. I am a witch. And you? How about you? I'll be back shortly.
If you take a look at the 1975 cars, you'll notice a European influence. And there are some new American cars that rival the Europeans. One being Buick's new Skylark SR, with its touring car interior and spirited little V6 engine. But don't think of the Skylark SR as a European tourer. We're proud of the fact that it's a Buick. You will be, too.
Buick, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Dodge is right on target with great buys. See the friendly Dodge boys. They're good guys.
Surround yourself in quiet elegance for 1975 in the Dodge Royal Monaco Brougham. Never more beautiful than now. Royal Monaco Brougham. Luxury you can afford to enjoy.
Dodge is right on target with great buys. See the friendly Dodge boys. They're good guys.
We've got a full line of Dodge Monacos, including wagons. So come in. Experience the comfort, convenience, and luxury of Monaco. The Dodge boys have what you're looking for in 75.
See the friendly Dodge boys. They're good guys.
Scarsdale Dodge, Scarsdale, and Ocean Spray Motor Sales, Island Park.
Our cast included William Redfield, E.V. Juster, Bryna Raber.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. It's only human, I expect, to envy the wealthy, the successful, the newsworthy. Yes, all these advantages are something to be a little jealous of, but only up to a point. Beyond that, a host of problems, very different from ours, and far more disturbing and deadly, haunt the fabulously rich, the superstar, the headline maker. Could you imagine, for example, this happening to you, or your sister, or your daughter?
Go ahead in, Bill.
After you, Senator.
Have a look at this package. I found it waiting with the mail when I got home.
Italy. Postmarked Naples. You want me to open the box?
You're younger and tougher than I am. I don't think it'll make you throw up.
A finger. With a ring on it. Jake's ring.
Jake's finger. We can check the print, but I know it's his.
But this came from Naples. Your daughter Lynn's supposed to be in Rome. Why would... You think Jake is...
I don't know. I don't even know if Lynn is still alive.
Our mystery drama, See Naples and Die, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Ian Martin and stars Michael Wager. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
When you buy a mid-sized car, you expect certain things from it. Mainly, a reasonable combination of comfort and economy. Well, friend, Buick has a mid-size to meet your expectations. The 1975 Century Regal. It's a joy to look at, a joy to ride in, and Buick's new V6 engine makes it a joy to drive, especially past gas stations.
Buick Century Regal, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Hi, this is Pearl Bailey. Today I'm not going to try and entertain you. Instead, I'm going to put before you the distressing story of the needy children of the world. They need your help. The bright side is that you can give them all of this by working with Save the Children Federation. Together you can forge a better world, one in which children can have hope instead of despair. To find out how, you write today to Save the Children Federation, Box 120, Grand Central Station, New York, New York, 10017. Please help these children.
How many things can your family do together? Go to a movie? Go to a circus? Go on a picnic? Go on a vacation? Face it, in today's America, family fun is hard to come by. And with busy schedules, just getting the family together is not an easy thing to do. How would you like to have a little family fun every week? How would you like to learn together? How would you like to grow together? And how would you like to help your son get an edge on growing up? Cub Scouting is helping families like yours be a family. It's your help to ours. Today's Cub Scout program is just as much for families as it is for boys. So when your son wants to join a Cub Scout pack, remember to take along the whole family. That's what Cub Scouting is all about. For the Cub Scout pack nearest you, call the Boy Scouts of America. They're in the white pages of your phone book.
Senator Henry Chalmers Winstead, born 1918, of a wealthy and distinguished family, which contained in its history 1 Secretary of the Treasury, 8 congressmen, several judges. Senator Winstead, chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and certainly his party's nominee to run for the next president of the United States. A man to be envied? Let's find that out from someone who knows him perhaps best of all, Bill Desmond.
When the senator calls, I jump. He's that kind of man. He never orders, just asks. You never refuse. Not out of fear or ambition, out of respect, admiration. And if you'll accept the word in its proper context, love. That's why I was there, looking with a churning stomach at that grisly present from Naples and listening to the phone ring.
I want you to listen in on this, Bill. Take it in my study. But don't let her know she's being monitored.
Senator, if it's Lynn, I don't...
Please, Bill. Everything I have in the world may be at stake.
Okay, sir, I'm with you.
This is Senator Winstead. I want to talk to Miss Beth Chalmers. If there's any question, tell her that her father insists on talking to her.
I hurried into the senator's study and picked up his extension quietly without any telltale click. You learn a lot about that sort of thing these days in Washington. They had just started to talk.
Lynn?
Yes, Daddy?
There really isn't anything funny about this, Lynn. Why did you refuse to take my call?
Well, I thought you might be some smart aleck reporter that had... What's the phrase of choice today? Cracked my cover. Blown it.
Oh, is that all?
What else? Where are you, Dad?
In Washington.
Was something wrong?
You can tell me that in person. I want you home on the next plane. Lynn, did you hear me?
How could I miss? So did most of Rome. May I ask you why I'm being bullied like a witness before one of your subcommittees?
If it hadn't been for special circumstance, I wouldn't have been soft enough to allow you to go barging around Europe alone and, well, confound it, I really despise the word. Incognito.
But it's such a lovely word. It's so romantic. It's my affair.
The word I get from my sources is exactly that. Affair.
Daddy, I'm 25 years old. Isn't that way beyond the time it's anyone else's business?
Vittorio Tedesco is a criminal.
Why?
He's been cited by one of my subcommittees for income tax evasion.
Who isn't these days?
When Well, that's pretty childish for 25, Lynn.
And you're pretty damn self-righteous. How'd you feel if Vic and I came on home and got married?
You do me a favor. Bring him. The moment he sets foot on U.S. soil, he'll be indicted for income tax evasion, and that's only the beginning.
You don't know Vic, Dad. I think you've been witch hunting too long.
What I'm beginning to feel is that I'm hunting one right now. You get yourself home here alone, or I'll come and get you.
With Congress in session? Aren't you afraid the country would fall apart without you? I'm sorry, Daddy, but you can't make me jump like all the disciples anymore. I'm going to do what you did. I'm going to make my own life.
Don't you hang up on me.
Mom left me independent. You brought me up to be that way. Nobody knows who I am here, and I'm about to get out of your way for good, and I won't surface till you have everything you want. Ciao.
Lynn? Lynn! Damn it. Bill, you still on?
Yes, sir.
You better get in here. What we need is a council of war.
Why didn't you tell her? What about Jake?
She had no idea I sent Jake off to keep an eye on her.
Well, we're not going to sit here and do nothing.
Of course not. There's more to that box than that obscenity I showed you. Here, read this.
I find your daughter irresistible. Also, fortunately, she feels the same way about me. Since I feel I'm a little old for her, I hope we never have to use that lever. Why don't you let me go right over now and take care of that dirty...
That's what I want, Bill. But I couldn't be the one to suggest it.
Maybe we'd be better off just hollering copper.
Finish the note. What evidence, what proof do we have?
Well, the note came with the finger, didn't it?
Oh, no. Completely separately. Read.
I think you might want to reach me after you read this. Any evening between 12 and 1 a.m. Washington time, I will try to reach you at Rose's hideaway. The phone is safe. Marriage, naturally, is not the only option. Unless we can make a bargain. I hope Jake put his finger on that. No signature.
And typed. And no doubt who it's from.
Vittorio Tedesco.
Yes.
What's his price?
Quash the income tax indictment against him, I suppose.
Could you?
I can't, in all honesty.
Are you even considering this proposition?
Jake Muldoon was my sergeant at the invasion of Truk. If it hadn't been for his hand in the way, a Japanese bayonet would have cut my throat. My daughter is all I have left from a family that once had a wife and 2 sons as well. I lost them all to violence. Ellen to cancer, Jim and Grant in 2 wars, Korea and Vietnam. I have no family left but Lynn. And you and Jake. What else can I do?
Push the button. Call in everyone, including the Marines.
Well, it's a consideration. Except they already have Jake.
But not Lynn.
You heard the phone call, Bill. I can't stop Lynn from marrying that gangster if she wants to.
Oh, it would raise such a smell your whole candidacy would go out the window.
I can't quash the indictment against him, nor would I even try. Except for Lynn. Oh, Lord. What am I going to do, Bill?
Stall.
What good can that do?
Give me time to fly to Italy. 48 hours.
Oh, risk my last friend. I don't know. Bring it all out in the open is the right way for me.
No. Not till you take that phone call. The witching hour. Well, let's head for the witch at Rose's hideaway and check out just what Tedesco really expects to get. Senator Winstead, in spite of his prominence and enormous know-how, is a babe in arms when it comes to the dirty work. That's my department. I was halfway to being a lawyer when my folks tangled with a truck. There was only enough insurance to bury them, and I had a kid sister and brother to bring up, so I became a cop. 8 years later, my kid sister and brother were independent, and under the police program, I got my lawyer's degree. While I was getting it, I met Lynn Winstead and her father. It was a case of love at first sight all the way around. What we all should have had was second sight, to see where it was leading us.
Don't be shy, fellas. Just waltz on in. This is a friendly inferno. And just super hell for kicks. The door on the left's my office. Just head for there. I'm Rose, Senator. I was expecting you, not the BF.
This is my administrative assistant, Bill Desmond.
I don't go for gonzels.
Except on your side.
No rods in here.
I have a license for it, Rosebud.
Well, don't let my name at the club fool you, Mac. I wanted to, I could take it away from you.
No need. We're only here for a phone call.
The Senator, not you.
Bill is in on all of this. I brought him in.
I don't know, but... Hold it. Just remember, this is my territory. No funny moves. Like otherwise, the morning paper gets a tip. Senator Winstead was frequenting a gay bar.
You'll forget it, Bill.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Put it through. Then switch it on my office phone. A certain party looking to reach you, Senator. Now, the next time this phone rings, he'll be on the line from overseas. You want to tell your bully boy here to join me at the bar for a drink so as you can have some privacy?
Think I'll be safe?
As long as you're under Mother Rose's wing.
Go with him, Bill. I'll take the call. But I want Bill if I need him. You hear that?
Yes, sir. We'll handle him with TLC.
Tender loving care, sir. It's the nurse's credo.
But it better be the way you're handled.
Hello? A call from Naples? It's your call, Senator. Come on, Desmond.
Who's talking?
I don't have to ask who you are. The voice is enough identification. You really have to ask who I am?
No, but can we stop the games? As you've set it up, there's no way this phone call can be monitored.
That was the idea.
So let's not waste time. Jake, is he all right?
I'd have thought your daughter would be your first concern.
She is. If you've got her. You gave me proof enough you have Jake.
Let's cut your worries. I have them both, Senator. Jake against his will, as you can imagine. Your daughter, that's another story.
What do you want, Tedesco?
I want back to America. My skirt's clean. That income tax evasion judgment reversed. I want to be a free citizen, and you can do it.
And if I can't?
I'll send you your friend Jake piece by piece. I'll marry your daughter and make sure you couldn't be elected dog catcher.
I need time. How do I get in touch with you?
I'll call here tomorrow and the day after, same time. If you're not there 48 hours from now, well, I sent you Jake's finger because I wanted to be sure you understood we weren't playing any games. I'd hate to get into the same sort of thing with your daughter. But I have too much at stake to have any scruples.
You'll have my answer within 48 hours.
If you feel you must wait. But what else can it be?
This wouldn't or couldn't happen to you or me. Ordinary people are not called upon to make extraordinary decisions normally. But how will Senator Henry Chalmers Winstead react? Which of his lives, public or private, is the more important? We'll return shortly with Act Two.
Hi.
Hi, I'm in nuclear research.
Nuclear research?
Uh-huh.
Hey, wow. I took you for a salami.
I beg your pardon?
A salami salesman. I thought for sure. Nuclear research.
Yeah.
And so young. Doesn't that take years and years of college?
Not necessarily. Well, today you can have a college grad's career with only a year or two of technical education. Look, it's all here in this free book, 25 Technical Careers in 2 Years or Less. It tells you how you can get into programming, chemistry, architecture, community service work, forestry.
Forestry? That would be great for this friend of mine. He loves to play in the woods.
Play in the woods?
Where do you get this free book, 25 Technical Careers?
Just Right Careers, Washington, D.C., 20202.
Careers, Washington, D.C., 20202?
Yeah, send for it. It tells you how you can have a college grad's career without 4 years of college.
A public service message of this station and the Advertising Council.
Who knows how to help you solve your shopping problems? Your Better Business Bureau knows.
Sam Spud, private investigator. Oh, Sam, I'm so glad you called.
You sound rattled, Angel.
I'm frantic, Sam. I went to buy the carpet for the office, and I got so confused. There are too many kinds. I didn't know what to ask or what to buy.
I'll help you, young lady.
Mercy, who are you?
I'm the man from the Better Business Bureau. Now, when you're choosing carpet, make sure you pick a long-wearing one that'll go with your walls, draperies, and upholstery. Beware of so-called fantastic bargains. And don't buy a carpet that isn't labeled as to fiber content.
Oh, Sam, now I know what to look for and ask before I buy a carpet.
You floor me, Angel. Just another helpful tip from your Better Business Bureau.
It's been a sleepless night for Bill and the senator, and 7 precious hours are gone before the senator has finally agreed to let Bill fly to Rome. It's a slim chance because Lynn has already checked out of her hotel with no forwarding address. Now, waiting at the airport to catch the first plane out, Bill is joined unexpectedly at the airport.
What are you doing here, Senator?
I threw a little weight around last night and dug up the number Tedesco called from. Naples. Spezia 54368.
Got it.
I should be going myself.
Oh, sure. They'd spot you for sure, and some smart reporter would have a headline like Daughters, Torchlights, Fire under Senator Winstead by fiddling around in Rome. You can't afford to lose a nomination with publicity like that.
I can't afford to lose a daughter.
You're not going to. And neither am I. I just discovered I'm still carrying my torch. I must really love her when I can even think of forgiving her for falling for a crook like that.
Don't underestimate him. He's a very charming man.
He's a crook.
I talk about his manners, you his morals. The only thing we ever could get him on was tax fraud. Why didn't we grab him in time? A lot of mistakes, Bill. Why didn't you grab Lynn when you could have?
No guts.
My daughter scared you?
Enough. But not all the way. You.
Me?
You're a large legend to live up to, Senator. Anyone in your family lives in a glass cage, which isn't much protection.
How do you expect to locate Lynn?
I'm heading for that Spezia telephone number in Naples. I got some channels of my own.
Watch your step, Bill. He fights dirty.
So do I. I came from the same slums. The flight was a milk run, but Rome was strictly a washout. So I took the Rapido for Naples. A Spezia phone number turned out to be a waterfront joint called Zia Maddalena. Bingo. Right off the bat, Lynn was sitting at a table with Vic. I was headed for them when about 220 pounds of muscle and a tuxedo got in my way.
Buonasera, signore. E benvenuta a Zia Maddalena. I'm Guillermo. The signor wishes to sit at the bar.
The signor wishes to join Mr. Tedesco.
You're a friend of his?
No, the ladies.
Ah, but the evening is warm. Tonio, take his coat. Don't try to move, amico. Just a little, what you call it, precaution.
A frisk.
Old American custom.
Guillermo.
You can call me Willie. Let him go, Tonio. He's clean now.
The all-American type. Thanks for making me feel at home. I can find my own way, thanks. Beth Chalmers. Imagine bumping into you.
Bill!
I hope I'm not breaking up anything or something like that.
No, not at all,
Bill,
Senor.
how did you... Oh, excuse me, Vic. This is an old friend of the family, Bill Desmond. Vic Tedesco.
How are you, Mr. Desmond? Do you, expect to be in Naples long, Senor Desmond?
Oh, no, I just came here to pick up a couple of packages. I hope to get the first train out.
Oh. Well, we were just going to have a brandy. Will you join us?
Oh, I don't think that...
Matter of fact, I was going to ask Beth to join me in a dance.
Why don't you, Beth?
Oh, you sure you don't mind, Vic?
No, not at all.
All right.
As a matter of fact, I have some business to attend to. Please, enjoy yourselves. But I'll be jealous of every moment you're away, Carissima. I expect to marry La Signorina, so treat her very carefully, huh?
Bill, I want you to get out of here.
Just as soon as you do.
Oh, I'm not leaving. So be a good little bird dog and stick your tail between your legs and run back to Dad and tell him it's no good.
I agree, the whole thing stinks.
I don't want to talk about it.
Then why are you dancing with me?
I was afraid you'd tell Vic who I really am.
He knows, knucklehead, he knows.
No, he doesn't. He thinks... Where are you taking me?
The terrace. Out!
I'm not going.
That's what you think.
Bill, you hurt me just now.
What do you think you're doing to your father?
Dad? He can take care of himself. He's above us all in an ivory tower. And don't talk to me about his career. For 25 years, that's all I've ever lived. My father's life, never my own. I've had to fight off charlatans, lounge lizards, fortune hunters, and social climbers. And as for any real man, the very thought of trying to live up to my father has turned them off. You ought to know that. Well, it didn't turn Vic off because he doesn't know who I am. I'm just the girl he loves. Can't you understand that? For once, I know I'm loved for myself alone.
Oh, Lynn, what do you use for a brain? He doesn't love you. He just wants to use you.
How?
To blackmail your father.
Oh, he'll be ridiculous. He doesn't know who my father is. And Vic doesn't need money. He's got all the money.
It isn't the money he wants.
Then what?
He needs your father's influence. To suppress the evidence against him on an income tax indictment.
What are you trying to do to me, Bill?
I'm just trying to get it through your fat head that...
I thought you were dancing. Enjoying the view?
Not particularly. Not what I'm looking at, anyway.
Now, that's not very polite. Apparently, Mr. Desmond doesn't care for me. I suppose he's been trying to tell you what a monster I am.
Oh, it doesn't matter what he's been saying because I don't believe him. You might as well know that once I gave Mr. Desmond the gate, and he seems to be suffering from a bad case of sour grapes.
Oh, well, Beth, I'm sorry. Don't let him spoil our evening, huh?
It's already spoiled. I'd like to go back to my hotel, please.
I'll go along with you and see that you get packed.
I think you have a train to catch, Mr. Desmond. Guglielmo, prenda la signora Macassino e quietala con l'altro, eh? Si. Guglielmo will take you to the train.
Now, just a minute.
I brought to your coat and the package you checked.
Okay, Willie, don't crowd me. I know when I'm licked. Arrivederci, Beth.
The word for us in Italian or any other language is goodbye. Come on, Vic.
Oh, don't you worry. I won't let you out of my sight again. In Italian, she meant addio, Mr. Desmond. I always wanted a trench coat like this here.
Yeah. Good all-purpose coat and real handy for covering a gun, huh?
Which is covering you, so let's just play it cool, huh?
And why not, Willie? My girl just stood me up. You and me can go steady now.
A clown.
That's me, Willie. Always good for a laugh. So, which way to the warehouse?
You speak Italian, huh?
I know a magazzina ain't no train.
Down the steps to the end of the terrace. And just take it easy. I wouldn't want a cold turkey.
I like the view better from up on the terrace.
Yeah, real pretty town. I was born in Napoli. You like the place?
My most favorite. What is it they say? See Naples and Die.
Like I said, a clown. Now, just slide in easy, under the wheel, and back into the corner. Okay. Now, cross your hands and put them up there above the dashboard. Now, that's a good boy. And now, you move one finger, and I put a bullet in your gut.
Is that what you did with Jake Muldoon?
No. With him, we just removed the finger. That's a hot one, ain't it?
Funny, Willie. Real funny. I guess the real clown is you.
Bill Desmond. Well, glory be to God. Ain't you the sight for sore eyes?
Jake Muldoon.
Okay, Jake, you got company. Why don't the two of you have a party? See you for breakfast in the morning.
What are you doing here?
We got your message, Jake. How's the hand?
Oh, I can get along without the finger. I won't be able to wear the ring anymore. It was Sheila's class graduation. God rest her soul.
Don't worry. The senator has the ring.
What about Lynn? Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself the way I was taken.
Right now, I'm more ashamed of Lynn the way she's let herself be taken.
Have you seen her?
I have. Maybe I shook her up a little. How do we get out of this, Jake?
Oh, you mean the room? I don't see no way. We're 4 floors up, and there's only that skylight I can't reach, and the angle is so steep, you'd never be able to climb to the roof.
This window.
You see the crossbars outside?
I can see something else.
What?
There's a pole for the power lines not so far off. If I could get out the skylight, I might be able to jump to it. Yeah, it has foot braces all the way down.
We'll try it. We'll need this table. Me on top, and you on top of me. I may have a bad hand, but I still have a good pair of shoulders.
But I'm not going to leave you behind, Jake.
Since I lost my Sheila 2 years ago, there's only been the senator, you, and his little girl. I'm expendable, Bill, like we used to say in the forces.
Well, this isn't the army, Jake. At least they had a kind of decency. There's none here. And I'm looking to do more than try to rescue Lynn from her own pig-headedness. I want to nail that over-sexed godfather at the same time.
You think I ain't with you on that?
Do you know where Lynn is staying here in Naples?
Well, sure. Digging that out was what got me nabbed.
Okay. Now, if I can just get out of here, I think maybe I could get us all out of this, including the senator, if Lynn will cooperate.
She always walked in your footsteps and worshipped the dust blew out of them.
Not for some time.
Sure. She was only waiting to be asked back. And when you didn't, what would she do but tempt you a little, get your dander up?
Well, maybe you're right. Get up on the table, Jake. Here, I'll help. Brace yourself against the wall.
All right, I am.
Can you close your good hand over the other wrist? Okay, give me a lift up. I'm going up on your shoulders.
All right.
Hang on.
All right.
Let's see.
You got it open?
Yeah. I can get up on the frame and jump for the pole.
How are you getting me up there?
I'm not.
Huh?
You couldn't make the jump, not with that hand. Anyway, I've got to come back tonight and be here in the morning. If my scheme works. Give me the hotel address and the room number.
It's a long jump. Suppose you don't make it.
To coin an old Air Force joke, you'll just have to repeat slowly over me, Our Father who art in heaven.
The classic escape. Will the hero's desperate leap bring him safety, or will he smash to death on the cobblestones 40 feet below? Except that isn't the real question in this story. What has to be saved is the career of a senator who aspires to the highest honor his country can offer. I'll return shortly with Act 3.
Some beer drinkers have funny ideas about beer. They think beer improves with age, like wine. Well, find a brewmaster, though. You'll find a beer drinker who knows better. The Budweiser brewmaster says it all depends on how beer is aged. Just letting beer sit in lagering tanks makes it older, not necessarily better. That even goes for keeping a case around the house for a couple of months. But there is one kind of aging that's good for beer, the Budweiser kind, beechwood aging. In this kind of aging, something happens. It lets all the flavor of the choicest hops and best barley malt that go into Budweiser get through to you. Sure, it takes more time and trouble to brew Budweiser that way, but brewing beer right does make a difference. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Some people think we play ping pong all day. They're wrong. The USO isn't all fun and games. Today, the USO has millions of problems like this one in Germany.
My family's going crazy living in a tiny apartment. Where can we live?
Today's USO has millions of problems like this one in Asia.
I'm hooked on drugs. Where can I get help?
Or this problem in Athens.
Our marriage is breaking up. Can you help us?
Today's USO has little time for ping pong. We've got serious work to do. We've got lots of new problems here and overseas. The problems are big. How big? Well, if someone asks you, who needs the USO? Tell them,
we do! We do!
Over 5 million American military personnel and their families need today's USO. And because we get no government funds, we need all your support. Please give to USO through the United Way or local USO campaign.
It's the old analogy of the snowball or the dominoes, the chain reaction. A man with no integrity uses a lever to force a man of integrity to give in to his demands. When he doesn't, the man with no scruples goes further and further to win what he wants. While Bill Desmond is risking his life to save the senator's future, Lynn, the girl he loves, is finding out what risk her headstrong selfishness has put her in.
Vic, if you really love me, let's pack up right now. Let's go home and get married.
Hey, subito, pigeon. What do we do about your father?
What does that mean?
How long do we have to keep up the pretense, huh? Beth? Or shall I say the real name? Lynn Winstead.
So you do know who I am?
Oh, your ex-amour gave it away.
That isn't true. You've known from the beginning, haven't you?
Suppose I have.
So Bill was right. You've just been using me. You think my father can quash the indictment against you.
Like that. And don't go all dewy-eyed on me, Angel. Those things are done every day. A business proposition. Give a little, take a little.
We're done, you mean? I'm growing up fast. I was fool enough to think it was only me you were interested in.
I am. Don't sell it short.
I'm getting my eyes opened, all right. But I'm not kidding myself anymore. I'm not going to marry you, Vic.
So? Well, I'll just have to hold you for ransom.
You really are what Bill said you were. You're a gangster and a crook, and now a blackmailer.
Names don't faze me, sugar. The means are all I care about, and I got 'em to spare. Your father, the big lily-white crusader with the next nomination in his pocket, and the big job dangled in front of him like a carrot on a stick. Well, I'm the stick, baby. I can jerk away that carrot. If he wouldn't come through for me, I love the idea of hitting back at him with those headlines. Senator Winstead's daughter, wife of exiled crook. You named me.
You'll never be able to do that now.
Oh, I got a lot of ways to go. I got you sewed up 7 ways from nowheres. Mia amore? I'm not going to outline them all. A couple you don't even know about, but I'm giving you a night to sleep on it. Now, you get in touch with your old man and close his papers on me, or he's going to find out he doesn't have a daughter anymore.
I didn't know about all this then. I was too busy making the jump, which turned out to be easier than finding my way back to Naples and Lynn's hotel. And getting into it unnoticed. It wasn't hard to see that Vic had it well staked out. But 4,000 lira got me in the trash exit, and another odd 2 up the service elevator to the right floor. Not bad for an attendant plated American bucks.
Who is it?
You alone? Lynn.
Yes. Who is it?
Bill. Let me in before the house dick picks me up for a peeping Tom.
Bill. It is you. Oh, but wait a minute. Oh, Bill. Oh, thank God. Oh, you don't know how glad I am.
Sure, how glad I am. Hey, listen, let's close the door before the house clerk raises the room rents.
Oh, you're just the most beautiful thing I ever saw.
Well, you still are the same for me. Maybe you'd better let me in on how you changed your mind so fast. I won't go into the next 15 minutes or hour or whatever it was, except that it brought us both up to date on a lot of things. Nothing new for you on my side, and nothing that really matters from Lynn until the real whopper. We got a million things to do, but I happen to get lucky. I got a friend who's a purser on the Majestic, which sails tomorrow from Naples for Barcelona, Lisbon, and Madrid. He's holding 2 staterooms for us, one for you and one for Jake and me. Now, all I've got to do is get Jake out of that warehouse. I can get by Vic's watchdogs, but we got to figure out also how to smuggle you out.
Bill.
What?
It's no good.
Oh, honey, this is no time to back out. If I can just get us all on board that boat safe and sound, we're all home free.
No, you, me, Jake, even in spite of what they did to him. But not Dad.
Why not?
Oh, Bill, I'm so ashamed of myself. I've been such a prime jerk, such a fool.
Okay, but now you've come to your senses.
No, you don't understand. Before I came to my senses, I was in Rome, and Vic was in Naples, and there was some kind of court thing that kept him from going anywhere in Italy but here.
Good thing, kept him away from you.
No, except that he kept writing me letters, and I...
You wrote him back. Oh, what kind of letters?
That's what I'm ashamed of. I don't know what happened to me, Bill, but I lost a lot more than my heart over here. Some of the things that I said in those letters, I wouldn't want anyone to see again, not even me.
And he's threatening to release them to every punk magazine and yellow rag in the U.S. if you don't get Papa to come through with clearing him.
My papers for his papers. That's his threat.
Lane, you are a dope. Now, what in the name of... Wait a minute.
What is it?
Silence, dope. A genius is at work. You're sure you understand?
Yes.
It's your chance to wipe everything out. Make up for every half-baked thing you've done. Think you can pull it off?
I'd better.
Uh-huh.
Yes, but how can you trust a dope?
Well, because that's what you've got going for you.
Oh.
Vic still has every reason to think you're one.
Thanks.
It's okay. You're my favorite dope. So, you got Tedesco's number, huh?
Yes, it's Spezia 3. No, I'm going to do it all by myself for once.
Now, remember, not till 10 o'clock tomorrow night. I've got to get Jake and me out of the coop and have time to sneak aboard.
Shh. Pronto.
Oh, Vic, it's Lynn.
Oh, hello, Lynn. Keeping pretty late hours, huh?
I just got through calling Dad, and I told him everything.
So what do I expect? A Marine landing to rescue you? The CIA? The local police?
No. He's agreed to what you want. Everything.
Only one way, baby. I want him here. I want a piece of paper from him in his handwriting with witnesses.
You can have it tomorrow.
How?
Well, there's some gossip circulating around Washington about us already. So Dad booked me a passage on the Majestic, sailing from here tomorrow night, in the name of Beth Chalmers.
So? You think I'd let you leave, just like that?
No, Dad's flying in, secretly, later today. He's hitching a ride with the MATS. And from the military airport, he'll get down here by helicopter. He'll be in my cabin by 9 p.m. You just bring the letters with you, and he'll make the deal.
What time does the boat sail?
Not till midnight.
Why not my place?
Oh, Vic, he can't take a chance. He's going to be suppressing evidence.
So why should I take a chance?
What chance are you taking? We're the ones. Dad and me are caught in the sleeve. We've got to keep this under wraps.
Okay, baby, you got a deal. But just remember, I'm not coming alone. I'll be there with plenty of protection.
Well, I'll leave visitors' passes for you at the gate. It's Pier 12, Cabin 24, A deck. 10 o'clock.
Now make it 4 passes, and I'll be there.
Oh, I've been so scared. How can I thank you?
I'm not coming for you, baby. I'm coming to watch the senator crawl.
He's coming.
You brought it off.
With 3 of his gunmen.
We'll take care of them. And you.
Oh, I don't know, Bill. I feel somehow so dirty.
Well, it's a dirty league, and this linen couldn't be washed in public. Now, I gotta get back to jail before they know I'm on the loose. See you on the boat. Oh, by the way, you have an extra pair of pantyhose you could lend me? If the situation hadn't been so tense, I could have laughed out loud at the expression on Lynn's face. But there wasn't time for anything except what had to be done. I sneaked out of the hotel the same way I got in, carrying with me the pantyhose, 2 oval bars of Lynn's scented soap, and a coil of rope from one of the fire stations. I spotted what looked like one of Vic's men at the back door, hid in the shadows. Till he stopped to light a cigarette, turning away into the wind. And I was around the corner and gone. Back to the warehouse and my career as a prisoner. Jake! Jake!
That's you, Bill?
Yeah. Look out. There's a rope coming through the skylight.
Okay. Got it.
Pull it tight and hitch it to something solid. I'm coming across and back in. After I got in, from Jake's shoulders, I unhitched the noose and the rope after a couple of flips from where I'd had it around one of the foot bars on the power pole. I hid it carefully under one of the beds. I'd need it later to lower Jake with his bad hand. I'd go out the same way as I had tonight. With the soap bar and the legs of the pantyhose, we had 2 blackjacks. We hid those safely. Now all we had to do was wait out the day and act like model prisoners.
Well, will you look at the 2 dukes sleeping like they was babes? Hey, wake up, you bums.
Oh, buongiorno, Guillermo.
Okay, cut out the humor. I bought you both some grub. And this here's Tonio. He and a friend will bring you your dinner around 6. Then, guess what?
There's a file in the cake you baked.
Like I said, a clown. This time, you ain't beating your gums. Out of the goodness of the boss's heart. You'll all be on your own tomorrow morning. Well, in case I shouldn't see you again, ciao. Come on, Tony.
You may not see me, Willie, but you'll hear from me.
Tonio heard the first bells that night as he brought our food.
Oh.
A bar of soap in the toe of a sock is as effective as it's safe. It worked equally well on the 2 uglies Vic left behind on the dock. Jake told me later. By that time, I was already in Lynn's cabin, waiting behind the door.
Vic. Oh, I was afraid you wouldn't get here.
Wouldn't have missed it. 10 on the nose.
You have the letters?
Right here.
Oh, good. Then come on in. Meet my father.
Got your rod, Willie?
Yeah.
I think we'll just let Willie check things out first, all right? Go ahead. You can trust him to keep his mouth shut.
What? Okay. There ain't nobody else here.
That's what you think.
The double cross. Don't move toward his gun, Desmond. I got one, too. I'd like to ram it right down your lying little throat, sweetheart. All right, now the 3 of us are just going to stroll out real casually. And this time, no surprises. Oh.
Jake!
Hi, Miss Winstead. Long time no see.
I don't think I hit Willie quite hard enough, Jake. Would you like to do the honors?
With pleasure. Didn't I tell you, you ugly spalpeen, you'd be hearing from me again?
Oh, Bill. It feels so fresh and clean. I feel as if I'd just broken out of a spider web.
Nothing like a sea breeze to blow away all kinds of cobwebs. I wonder how Vic and Willie are enjoying the voyage.
Are they actually under arrest?
That was the whole plan. Beyond the 3-mile limit, this ship becomes American soil. The grand jury issued the warrant yesterday, and technically the captain can execute that warrant now.
And what about Willie?
Well, he's a stowaway. And he's got a record a mile long. By the time we get home, they'll be rearrested, convicted, and clapped in jail where they belong. Let's forget about them.
But how could you ever forgive me? Or forget?
Well, we made up the story that your father was going to be here when he wasn't. Let's say the letters and all the rest. Never happened either.
I don't deserve to get out of trouble so easily.
Who said you did, lady? You don't know the trouble you're headed for.
Jake, keeping a faithful watchdog's eye on them from behind a ventilator, turns away. A nice-looking couple, he's thinking. Won't the senator be pleased? And what the hell, he says to himself, it was worth it all to have a finger in the pie. I'll be back shortly.
There's a fresh new spirit sweeping the land. A free spirit that demands good products. Products that satisfy your sense of good taste and desire for economy. But above all, products that perform. Buick has been touched by this spirit. And this year, our crisply designed, solidly built Buicks will bring joy even to the most demanding of free spirits. The 1975 Buicks, dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
A variety of assistance is available to the blind. Rehabilitation and library services can be had in every part of the nation. Cash payments for the needy and training in skills and techniques. You can help. For information, contact your local affiliate of the National Federation of the Blind or write me, Kenneth Jernigan, President, National Federation of the Blind, 218 Randolph Hotel Building, Des Moines, Iowa, 50309.
By the time Lynn and Bill had gone below for a nightcap, Jake had circled around and taken their place at the rail. Putting one arm along it, he could almost feel the wraith of his own Sheila, warm and loving, nestling in it. The Lord taketh away, but the Lord giveth. Lynn and Bill were his children. And the senator was his, well, why not his father? Wasn't that the name they gave the first president? Our cast included Michael Wager, Marion Seldes, Larry Haynes, Dan Acco, and Ken Harvey. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale.
She was a priestess in the temple of Apollo at Delphi. And she fell in love with me.
Hey, Pop, you know the sun's getting hot out here. Maybe you ought to get inside.
Anyhow, you swallow a few grains, and you go into a deep trance. And when you come to, or wake up, it's hundreds of years later.
Oh, rave on.
Now, make plans to break out, Augie. Quickly before they come for you. Go get your gold.
Sure, get the gold. And then where do I hide?
You can hide anywhere. A secluded spot, a cave, a forest, a desert.
Yeah, great. And what do I do for chow?
I'm trying to explain this, Augie. You don't eat. You don't drink. You don't have any wants. You have no needs. You're oblivious to cold, to heat, to rain, to snow. And in several hundred years, you come alive again.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, Brewers of Budweiser, and Buick Motor Division.
This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.
WHCU-FM Ithaca, 97.3.
Mildred Barrick has been the leader of the 60-member Lansing unit of senior citizens for the past 5 years. Once a month, their luncheon meetings weave social ties.
I like people. I like to be with people. I work and enjoy people.
Friday afternoons bring a special treat at the Senior Citizen Center in Ithaca. Mildred Barrick gets a chance to pursue a pastime she had liked since she was a girl.
I'm not much of a round dancer, but I like the square dancing.
There are 11 units of senior citizens in Tompkins County. Total membership reaches 2,400, and there are many activities to enjoy.
Well, I'm quite a clubber. I belong to quite a few organizations. In fact, this week I've had meetings, day meetings and 4 or 5 night meetings. And I am alone, so I like to get out and be with people.
The Senior Citizens Council and Center fill a void in many lives. The United Way campaigners want to keep it that way.
CBS News. After remaining silent on the matter for years, Nelson Rockefeller has admitted that as New York governor, he was aware of a $100,000 payment to the state Republican committee by concessionaires seeking a racetrack license. I'm Jim Kilpatrick reporting on the CBS radio network. Answering questions submitted by CBS News, Rockefeller said he ordered then New York State Republican Committee Chairman Judson Morehouse to return the money. Rockefeller denies there was any wrongdoing involved. The $100,000 was returned on orders from Rockefeller, but the contributors were allowed to keep the racetrack license, and the entire incident remained secret for 6 years. Rockefeller had refused publicly to confirm or deny knowledge of the $100,000 until just recently. Former New York State Republican Committee Chairman Judson Morehouse pleaded the Fifth Amendment when questioned about the payment by a New York grand jury. Morehouse was convicted in an unrelated case and pardoned by Rockefeller in 1970. One matter under study by congressional investigators is a $100,000 loan by Rockefeller to Morehouse 1 year after the racetrack incident. Rockefeller strongly denies any connection between the loan and the $100,000 contribution he ordered returned. A detailed report on Nelson Rockefeller's income taxes today was given to congressional committees considering his vice presidential nomination. The report was prepared by the IRS and the Congressional Joint Committee on Internal Revenue Taxation. More after this.
Time Magazine. What's in it for you this week?
Cover story, Rhoda and Mary, love and laughs.
A happy look at MTM Enterprises and its brightest stars, Valerie Harper and Mary Tyler Moore. Two beautiful clowns who double-handed, says Time, are bringing a new sophistication back to television.
Hurricane Rhoda may be the best thing to happen to Monday night since pro football.
And Mary, whose life was once a string of situations without comedy, now practically owns Saturday night.
Time takes you behind the scenes of a spectacular success to show you why, on television, all that glitters is not old.
Also in Time this week, 3 exclusive interviews.
With Leon Jaworski, Nelson Rockefeller, and Greek Premier Konstantin Karamanlis.
In Economy and Business, the year that the building stopped. A wide-ranging survey of the high cost of housing in America.
And on the first anniversary of the Arab oil embargo, 2 new studies of oil imports that strike a surprising note of long-range optimism.
It's all there this week in Time.
Pick up a copy.
For Time makes everything more interesting.
Including you.
President Ford has come under strong criticism for his remarks in Oklahoma City yesterday, in which he said heavy Democratic gains next month in congressional elections would threaten bipartisan foreign policy and that world peace would be in jeopardy. Criticism came from both Republicans and Democrats. Connecticut Republican Senator Lowell Weicker put it this way.
Let me make this clear insofar as this Republican is concerned. Everybody down there that I've talked to, they might have differing views, but gosh knows they want peace in this world, and I don't think that's a valid issue at all. I think we have a lot we can campaign on, but that type of statement has a familiar ring to me, and I don't like the ring.
Republican Senator Lowell Weicker of Connecticut. Democratic Senator Hubert Humphrey called the president's remarks an unfair and regrettable attack on the Democratic Party.
I recall that in 1970, Mr. Nixon and Mr. Agnew tried to use the same scare tactics to help elect Republicans to Congress, and the American people then registered their disapproval of this campaign technique when they went to the polls. I think they are going to do the same thing again.
Senator Humphrey. White House News Secretary Ron Nessen says Mr. Ford is surprised by the criticism. Nessen said President Ford did not intend to say the Democrats are a party of war. FBI Director Clarence Kelly says today the Bureau of Investigation remains stumped in its search for Patricia Hearst. The newspaper heiress was abducted last February in California. The Boeing Aircraft Company has confirmed that a delegation of Soviet officials are in Seattle to discuss the possible purchase of Boeing 747s, but the company will say a little more. Boeing says the talks are consistent with the June Nixon-Brezhnev-Moscow agreements, which call for a continuing orderly expansion of economic and technical cooperation between the two countries. More after this.
The CBS Radio Mystery Theater presents... Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. And we hold these, what shall we call them? Meetings, adventures, seances, nightmares, usually at this time and place. So what is your terror? Are you interested in immortality? Would you like to live forever? Does the prospect of life everlasting intrigue you? Well, if it does, or even if it doesn't, stay with us, and you'll meet a gentleman who can sell you eternity. The catch? The hitch? The fine print? There isn't any. Would I lie to you?
I got all this gold. Let's make a deal.
What good is gold?
Gold? Gold is...
I notice you have some in your teeth. Is that what gold is used for?
Let's make a deal.
What is a deal?
I'll give you half.
No. I am not amused by gold. Come. You must go back.
No.
Come.
I'm warning you. Okay, you asked for it.
Come, Augie. Time to return.
The bullet. It just went through you.
Put your toys away, Augie, and come back to your cage.
Our mystery drama, A Cage for Augie Karo, was written especially for the Mystery Theater by Sam Dan and stars Leon Janney. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Contact, the 12-hour cold capsule. I'll be back shortly with Act One.
When you say Budweiser,
when you say Bud, you've said a lot of things nobody else can say. When you say Bud, you've gone as far as you can go to get the very best. When you say Bud, you've said the word that means you like to do it all. When you say Bud, it means you want the beer that's got a taste that's number one. When you say Bud, you tell the world you know what makes it all the way. When you say Bud, you say you care enough to only want the king of beers. There is no other one. There's only something less, because the king of beers is leading all the rest. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Come on, kids, your eggs are getting cold.
Hey, honey, you know what I heard last night?
Your own snoring.
No, seriously. You know what I heard? There's a new health plan that covers all the doctor bills we'll probably ever have.
Even a physical?
Uh-huh.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. Its name is, what's its name?
RHN. Your Good Health Plan. A good name to remember.
Well, that's it, the RHN plan.
You know, honey, it really is time you had a physical.
Oh, come on. Don't start that again. Haven't you heard about the shortage? I mean the shortage of clean air. Not only that, but you may be causing somebody a lot of health problems. Because air pollution is responsible for aggravating a growing number of respiratory diseases. Now, you sure this trip is necessary? Thanks. I was hoping you'd do that. Join with your lung association in the fight against air pollution. It's a matter of life and breath.
The central character of our tale is Augie Karo. That word character may be a misnomer, since Augie was never accused of having any. I'm afraid I must say that Augie is not a good person. As a child, he took things that belonged to others. When he grew up, he continued the practice. Of course, there was a dramatic increase in both the value of the objects and the violence of the methods.
Against the wall, it's a stick-up. You punk!
It is true, of course, that the wages of sin is death. But those are the final wages, the severance pay, so to speak. And the fact is, our Augie possesses quite a fortune. However, Augie is unable to enjoy his wealth at this point in time. There's a stumbling block, or I should say a cell block. For a jury of his peers has awarded Augie the status of non-paying, of involuntary guest at a leading state penitentiary for the next 99 years. However, Augie is no ordinary inmate. Even here, he's a great man. And even here, he has what is known as clout. Let us meet Augie in the exercise yard of the great prison.
Hey, Augie, you need cigarettes? Okay, beat it. All of you guys. Except you, Pop. I want to talk to you, Pop. The rest of you clowns, take off.
Sure, Aug. Okay.
Sit down, Pop. Take a load off your feet.
What do you want with me, Aug?
You know who I am, huh?
Doesn't everybody know who you are?
Well, how come you never come around and see me, Pop?
Why should I do that, Augie?
Come on, you're no jail rat. Who's looking out for you, Pop? Who's, giving you protection?
Who? Nobody.
Listen, Pop. You're talking to me.
Augie, I'm the oldest one in here. I can't do anybody good. I can't do anybody harm. I want nothing. Nobody wants anything from me.
Pop, there's got to be organization. You know what I mean?
I know, but I'm just out of it.
Nobody's out of it. Everybody's got to be part of the organization, that's all.
All right, Augie, count me in.
You got to pay your dues.
Dues? I don't have a cent.
Come on, Pop. You get stuff from the outside. Your folks send you cigarettes, a little dough, this and that.
I don't know a soul on the outside. I'm all alone in the world. All I own are the clothes on my back.
You're lying, Pop.
And I don't even own those. Those belong to the state.
My boys can make it rough.
Augie, I'm going to die soon. I'm so tired. You'd be doing me a favor.
Okay, but the joint's got to be organized. You got to give me something. Like they say, a token of good faith, you know?
Yeah, I know. Come to think of it, I do have something.
Hey, now you're talking.
Tell me, Augie, what do you want more than anything else in the world?
You nuts?
Tell me.
I want to bust out of here.
No, you just say that. Because that's what every con is supposed to say. But you really don't want to break out.
Yeah, how do you know?
Because if you wanted to escape, you'd do it.
Huh?
You've done it before, but you don't want to. And I know why.
Yeah? Why?
You're a man on the outside, Augie. That's what 99 years means. You have no friends now. They all want you for the gold.
What gold?
The gold you stole on your last job. The gold you got hidden away. Everybody knows about it. Cops, crooks, they'll all hunt you down for the gold. You stay here Because it's the only place you're safe.
Anybody ever tell you you talk too much, Pop?
But even here, how long can you be safe? You're scared stiff. Some mobsters will come in and bust you out.
Well, you better shut up.
I can give you the one thing money can't buy.
Yeah. What?
What you need. A hideout.
A hideout?
That's right. A place where you'll be absolutely safe and secure and comfortable.
Where is it?
Where? Well, that's hard to say.
Come on, where is it?
Right now, it's in my cell.
What are you talking about?
All right, okay, fall in on the door.
What are you talking about, Pop?
You'll see. I'll bring it here tomorrow afternoon.
Bring what?
Your hideout.
How can you bring...
Okay, there's no more talking. Button up, and that means everybody. Okay. All right, you got 10 minutes. You can sit down. You can smoke.
Hey, Pop. Hey, Pop. You come on over here.
Oh, good afternoon, Augie.
Yeah, well, what was that line you was handing me yesterday?
Well, I promised you a hideout. I have it here with me. In this little bottle. See? This little white powder.
Pop, you know you're crazy.
And you have enough of this powder to last through eternity. Almost.
You've been in stir so long, you finally blew your lid.
You have no idea how long I've been in stir, Augie. Add it up. Here and there, each time, each lifetime, I'd say about 950 years.
What?
I think that's some kind of record.
Listen, Pop, just beat it, huh?
Why don't you believe me?
A guy says he's done 950 years in jail, and he wants to know why I don't believe him. Oh.
This powder, Augie. You take several grains of this powder.
Oh, yeah.
And your body will... Well, it goes into a state of suspended animation. That's the modern term. She called it a trance.
She? Who you talking about?
Yes, it's at least 2,600 years ago. But I'll never forget her.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I never knew her name. She was a priestess in the Temple of Apollo at Delphi. And she fell in love with me.
Hey, Pop, you know the sun's getting hot out here. Maybe you ought to get inside.
Anyhow, you swallow a few grains, and you go into a deep trance. And when you come to or wake up, it's hundreds of years later. And it's a new world, a new society. Nobody knows you. Nobody wants you. You start life all over.
Oh, rave on.
Now make plans to break out, Augie. Quickly before they come for you. Go get your gold.
Sure, get the gold. And then where do I hide? Oh, you crazy old nuts. You promised me a hideout.
You haven't been listening, Augie. You can hide anywhere. A secluded spot, a cave, a forest, a desert.
Yeah, great. And what do I do for chow?
I'm trying to explain this, Augie. You don't eat. You don't drink. You don't have any wants. You have no needs. You're oblivious to cold, to heat, to rain, to snow. And in several hundred years, you come alive again.
But how can you go for...
Augie, don't question.
What do you mean, don't question?
Ancients, they lived close to the gods. All the gods. Those were the days of marvels and miracles and wonders. Today, we don't believe anymore. So we use science to try to duplicate what the gods...
Never mind all that. Just tell me, Pop. If this is such a hot item, how come you ain't used it, huh?
Oh, I have.
Yeah?
Many times. Well, I was a galley slave in Greece, a gladiator in Rome. I was in the Tower of London, the Bastille. No matter how I tried, no matter how many times I started fresh, I always wound up in prison.
Well, wouldn't you have enough brains to learn?
No, Augie. And you won't have enough brains either. Once a jailbird, always a jailbird. Oh, I'm sick of it. I haven't been able to stay out of jail for over 2,500 years.
Huh?
All I want to do now is die. Guys like you and me, Augie, we never learn.
Okay, break it up. Fall in.
Augie.
Let's go.
Remember, I'm not a nut.
Yeah, sure.
When your time comes, just go somewhere. Take a few grains of that powder.
Yeah.
Guard that powder with your life, Augie. It's your ace in the hole.
Oh, good morning, Augie. I hope you slept well.
What do you want?
Better get that cell all cleaned up.
All right.
There's a new guard taking over my post.
So?
I'll be on the rear gate.
None of you guys is a bargain.
Oh, you'll miss me, Augie. The new guy reported in this morning. His name's Castle. He thinks he's tough.
What else you got on your mind?
Oh, I think you were a friend of Pop.
Who said I was?
He died last night.
Yeah?
Was that all you can say? Yeah? He left you his fortune.
What fortune?
Here it is. Well, take it.
Hey, what's this?
I don't know. I asked the warden's kid. You know, the smart one that goes to high school? He says it's an ancient Greek coin from, I don't know, what's the name of that place? Delphi, something like that. I don't know. Tell me, Augie, how does it feel to inherit a fortune?
Bring it up.
What do you punks think this is, a town hall meeting? Start walking. So, not you. You're Augie Karo, huh?
And you're the new screw, huh?
A little tap across the gut. I also got one that'll knock your teeth out.
Yeah, figure you're pretty good with that club, huh?
Well, you could find out the hard way.
Figure you're tough, don't you, Castle?
Mr. Castle to you, punk.
What do you want?
This is a penitentiary.
So?
You know what that means. It's a place where you do penance. Have you been doing any penance, Augie?
Okay, Castle, what's your game?
I want you to call me Mr. Castle.
Yeah, what else you want?
I want you to think about your sins, Augie. Think about them and repent. Okay, you got 10 minutes. Sit down, smoke. He was wrong, wasn't he, Augie?
Oh.
The man that wrote stone walls do not a prison make, nor iron bars a cage. You know better than that, don't you, Augie?
What's on your mind, Castle?
You must have been one of those slow learners in school. I guess these days they call them underachievers.
What do you want?
I want you to call me Mr. Castle.
Yeah, well, what's on your mind, Mr. Castle?
You're on my mind, Augie, night and day.
Yeah? Why?
Let's go talk to the warden about it.
Hey, wait. What are you charging me with?
I'll think of something.
Hey, all you guys. You're witnesses. I'm being framed.
Shut up, punks. Now, Mr. Augie Karo, start walking. Officer Castle and one prisoner headed for the warden's office. Walk through, Augie. Quick, Augie, dug in here.
What?
Do as I tell you.
What's the big idea?
Shut up. We'll head this way.
This ain't the way to the warden's office.
What do you care? You don't want to go there anyhow.
Where we headed?
Out. Out where there's booze and girls and 2-inch steaks.
What are you talking about?
We're headed for the rear gate.
Hey, wait a minute.
Right now there's only one guard.
Hold it.
You mean you don't want to go?
What am I getting into, Castle?
My name isn't Castle.
What do you mean your name isn't Castle?
And I'm not a prison guard either.
You ain't a... Hey. Well, who? What are you?
That's a pretty good question. You must admit, so far, our tale is replete with people who are not what they seem. For instance, old-timer convict Pop claimed to be a Greek galley slave. And here we have prison guard Castle suddenly disavowing his identity. Well, at least you can depend on me to come back shortly with Act 2.
What can you do to a family car to make it more than just roomy, comfortable, and utilitarian? Well, you could call it a Buick LeSabre, for starters. That'll get you the kinds of things you'd normally expect from a family car, plus some pretty uncommon family car traits. Like a level of exterior and interior elegance befitting a night on the town. The distinct formal roofline on the four-door hardtop LeSabre is highlighted by opera windows on either side. On the inside, you'll find comfortable cloth or vinyl seats, plush carpeting throughout, plus available options such as tilt steering wheel and automatic climate control air conditioning to turn ordinary errand running into motoring for pleasure. The 1975 Buick LeSabre. Consider it a family car as well as an instrument of pleasure. Buick's LeSabre. Dedicated to the free spirit in just about everyone.
Quiet! Halt! Cigarette?
No need for that. I'm ready.
Blindfold?
Dash it, man. Let's get it over with.
As you wish. Ready! Fire!
Henry, wake up. You're dreaming again. Your tax audit?
Yeah, today's the day.
But you got all your records together.
Well, yes, I do. Aren't you coming?
You don't need me. You're ready.
Can I help you, sir?
Well,
Oh, you're here for an audit.
Uh-huh.
Won't you have a seat?
Thank you.
Well, now, let's see.
If you have good records of your income and receipts for your deductions, an audit of your federal income tax return can be easier than you think.
How did it go, Henry?
Ha! No problem. Nothing I couldn't handle.
This message presented on behalf of the Internal Revenue Service.
Well, you know what's been happening to Augie Karo, a hoodlum presently resident in one of our state institutions. First, an old and apparently half-insane convict gives him a vial containing a powder which can put a man to sleep for several centuries, or so he claims. Now, Augie is being conducted to the rear gate of the prison by a guard who has just revealed he isn't a guard at all, but someone who is going to help Augie escape. Even a mental genius would have trouble grasping at the significance of all these events. It's no wonder, then, that Augie insists on stopping short to think things out.
Well, what do you mean you're a real guard?
That's it, Augie.
How'd you get that uniform? How'd you get in here?
It's a long story, but right now we only have time for a short one.
Well, start talking.
Let's talk about 100 little blocks of pure gold. Each block weighs exactly 1 pound. So you freelanced that one, Augie, and the big guy wants his piece.
My deal with him was I could operate on my own, too. I don't owe him nothing.
But this was his idea, Augie, to spring you. It's worth a piece, isn't it?
What's he want?
50%.
No dice.
Okay, Augie, stay here. Keep 100% of nothing. What's the matter? Lose your nerve? You afraid to bust out?
I ain't afraid of nothing.
Well, do we go or do we stand here in the corridor much longer?
Okay, we go.
Start walking.
How'd you get in here?
You know the big guy. He has friends everywhere. He can find out if some guy's being transferred, like a prison guard. There was a guard named Castle. He was coming here from way downstate. Well, he never made it.
How do we get out the rear gate?
Just up ahead, the door. It's open. Walk out. Now turn left. A rake is leaning against the wall. Pick it up. Start raking leaves. You follow this?
Yeah.
Work your way slowly, very slowly toward the gate. I'll be talking to the guard. I'll hold his attention. Get behind him. Cloud him. Here, take this blackjack. And make sure of him.
What's the matter? I don't know how to sap a guy.
Test if it's clean and we don't have to shoot. Now here's the door. Walk out. Slow.
Yeah.
Well. Look at who made the cleanup detail. Big Augie himself. Yeah. We're going to show this punk how the other half lives. Get working on those leaves before I start working on you. You know, Castle, I've been watching you. Oh, have you? Yeah. You're going about this job wrong. Am I? You can't treat these men like animals. Why not? That's exactly what they are. Now, you're brand new on the job, Castle. Now, let me give you a few tips. You think you know all the answers, huh? I don't know any of the answers. But I do know that for 8 hours a day, we're just as much in jail as they are. So, Why not just try to live together? Give a guy a break and never do what we're doing now.
What's that?
Never let a con get behind you. Hey, what's it? Plug him.
Rear gate! Rear gate!
Run for it, Ted. Yeah.
Rear gate!
There's the car. Get in the back.
Hey, what's this? Dame behind the wheel?
Jump in and shut up. Get out of here, Ginny, fast. That box on the back seat. Slacks, sports shirt, change. Pass me a shirt and pants.
Who's this dame?
We need a wheel person, don't we?
I never heard of a dame who could go...
Woman's lib, Augie. A fantastic thing. Now, you always thought dames were only for having laughs with. There's a million other great services they can perform. Ginny, stop the car. Augie, your jailbird suit and my uniform. Toss them behind those bushes out of sight. Yeah, that's it. Okay, good deal. Okay, get going, Ginny.
Wait a second. Head back toward the jail.
What's the matter, Augie? Changed your mind?
Busting out of jails is something I know more about than anybody in the country. In 2 minutes, you'll have cars, motorcycles, helicopters heading this way after us. But who's gonna bother with a car that's kind of loafing along toward the jail? So we pass the jailhouse, pick up the pike, and head south instead of north. Move out and go slow. Slow, you understand?
She understands.
And why don't she say so?
What can I tell you? She just isn't a talker, that's all. Looks like we lost everybody, so now let's head for the gold.
The gold, huh?
That was the deal. We spring you, you get those little blocks of gold, and we split 50-50.
We?
The big guy, and you.
And, you and her, what do you get?
Ginny and I are on the big guy's payroll. We get a salary every week.
Is that so, Ginny? Yeah, she really don't talk, does she?
Well, she's a very serious person. Very deep. She can't be bothered with trivia.
Yeah? What does she talk about?
It depends.
On what?
On whatever suits her mood of the moment.
I don't like a dame that never opens her mouth.
It may very well be, but the fact is you don't have to like her, Augie. So to business. Let's head for the gold.
Now?
Augie, yesterday is tomorrow may never be born. All we can rest on and swear by is today.
Okay. Keep heading south.
You heard the gentleman, Ginny.
Yeah, how about if we stop for some chow, huh?
Oh, you can't risk being seen, Augie.
We gotta eat.
Oh, I guess. Ginny, that's a diner up ahead. Pull into the parking lot. I'll go in and pick up some food. Augie, you try to keep out of sight.
This ain't the first time I've been on the lam.
Augie?
Huh? Well, what do you know? She talks. Listen, what gives with a dame like you?
Never mind all that. I don't have much time. You don't have much time either.
Yeah, why?
He's gonna cross the big guy.
He is?
Yeah, he wants all the gold for himself.
He does? Where do you come in?
The two of us, we're together.
So what does he want to do?
You take us to where it's hidden. He shoots you. We take the gold and leave the country.
So? Why is that a bad idea?
Oh, it's a great idea. It's got one thing wrong with it. It can't work.
Why not?
You know why not. You don't cross the big guy. Because if you do, there's no place in all the world you can hide from him.
And what does Castle, or whatever his name, say to that?
Oh, he laughs. He figures he's pretty smart. Well, he went to college.
Okay. Well, what did you tell me all this for, huh?
Because I don't want no part of it. I don't want to get in wrong with the big guy.
That's good thinking.
It's not like I didn't try to talk him out of it, but I don't know, sometimes a guy just won't listen to reason.
Yeah, I know.
So, well, there's something he don't have to know.
Yeah? What?
You don't have to know that I'm giving you this little .32 revolver. Take it.
Sure, thanks.
Now remember, you're safe till we get to the gold. And then...
Look, you don't have to tell me what to do.
You know, it's really a shame. He's so educated. He speaks so nice.
Now, why would you ask a question like that, Augie? I mean,
well, why would a mug like me want to know about stuff like trances?
Yeah, that's right. Ancient Greeks and Romans.
Well, I done a lot of reading in jail,
I didn't know you could read.
You're so smart. But you're just a hood yourself. Why ain't you teaching college?
There's not enough money in it.
Yeah. So what about them ancient Greeks?
Well, there were legends, stories of magic, miracle healing, trances. The ancients knew many secrets. But all knowledge of them has disappeared. Maybe we're rediscovering those secrets through science.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Maybe what the gods revealed to the priests in the ancient temples, they now reveal to the scientists in laboratories. Hey, slow down, Jenny. Up ahead, is that the country road where we're supposed to turn off?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Go ahead, Jenny. It's a bad road to travel at night.
Yeah, but it's like a rainbow, you know what I mean? There's a pot of gold at the end of it.
You said there was a hut just off to the right.
Yeah.
Stop the car, Jenny. Maybe we passed it. I don't see anything.
You don't? Why don't you turn around and look?
Hey, what the...
I never like to shoot a guy in the back.
Where'd you get that gun? Wait. Jenny.
This is one of them times she got nothing to say.
Listen, Augie. Now, listen. Maybe we could discuss...
Sure, but me, I always discuss things best with this.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's one down, Jenny.
What do you mean, one down?
One down, one to go.
But I saved your life.
So I say thanks.
But you can't. You can't kill me.
I can't? Why?
Because you can't. You can't double-cross a big guy.
Who says?
You can't double-cross the organization. They'll hunt you down.
They'll never find me.
You can't hide.
I got a place.
Augie, look at me. Look, I'm not so bad to look at, am I?
No, you're great.
Well, then take me with you, huh?
You wouldn't want to go with me, babe.
I would.
I'll be gone a long time.
I don't care.
Want me to tell you how long I'll be gone?
I said I didn't care.
I'm going to be gone for 3, 4, maybe 500 years.
But I don't... What are you saying, Augie?
I'm saying I'll be away maybe 500 years.
You're crazy.
That's how it goes, Jenny. I gotta say goodbye now.
Don't shoot me!
Well, the die, as they say, is cast. Augie has reached and decided to cross his Rubicon. The vial of white powder is in his pocket. Now, to pick up the gold, find some remote spot, and sleep, perchance to dream, for 3, 4, 500 years. We'll see how this all works out when I return shortly with Act 3.
Give your hand to a friend. Give your heart to your love. But give your cold to contact. The sooner the better.
The common cold is a rotten thing. You miss so much. Sneezing, drips, and congestion can drag you down. Then, ask yourself the contact question. 6 or 3 or 1. You'd need 6 cold tablets, 2 every 4 hours, or 3 ounces of Cold's liquid, 1 every 4 hours, or just 1 contact for up to 12 hours continuous relief of those symptoms. That's daytime, then nighttime relief. Both the others have things for aches and fever, and the liquid, something for coughs. Not found in Contact 600 Tiny Time pills.
Give your cold to contact.
6 or 3 or 1. Take Contact. Only as directed.
We're about to join Hasselton Chevrolet's recreational vehicle team, and the coach is setting the fall lineup.
All right, man, I'm going to set the fall lineup now. As you know, this is the time of year when we here at Hasselman Chevrolet really pull out the stops on the deals on motorhomes, mini motorhomes, and truck and tent campers. And sportsmen, of course, will be able to set their sights on special offers on Crown tent campers, open road mini motorhomes, Titan motorhomes, and Layton truck campers as well. Now, we've got to keep in mind that folks will be taking their fall vacations, too. So remember, guys, this year, Hasselman Chevrolet's recreational vehicles will be the best team in the league. And the prices may never be lower. Now that's a winning combination.
Well, you just heard it, folks. Join the winning team at Hasselton Chevrolet Recreational Vehicles, just east of Rochester on Fairport Road, 1 minute from Expressway Exit 31F East. Serving the automotive needs of this area for over 55 years.
And now Augie has more trouble than any one person can handle. An escaped convict, he is urgently wanted and pursued by the law. Since he has a suitcase containing 100 pounds of pure gold, he is being avidly sought by the underworld. He also has a vial of white powder, the contents of which can enable him to go into a death-like trance for several hundred years, or so he has been told. But can he believe such a thing? And does he have an alternative? That white powder could be the answer. But what if it's a phony? Suppose it's a poison. These are the thoughts that spin about in Augie's head as he drives along a road to, well, so far, to nowhere.
We interrupt to bring you this latest bulletin. Killer Augie Karo, who escaped from the penitentiary yesterday, is still at large. However, a spokesman for the authorities is confident that Augie will be captured. As the spokesman said, too many people want this guy. He'll turn up in a day or two, or alive.
Yeah. And I can also turn up in 300-400 years, too. And how do I know Pop was on the level? Can I just take that powder and go out like a light? And come back just like that? Yeah, and if I can, what'll it be like all in years from now? Yeah, maybe I can find a hideout. There's got to be somebody I can trust. Somebody. Not everybody's a rat. Jerry. Jerry, sure. Sure, Jerry.
Augie.
Let me in quick.
Why, sure.
I need a place to cool out.
Well, sure, Augie.
Only what?
Well, only the cops will be sure to check here.
So what? You're clean. You are clean, ain't you?
Sure.
So they gotta take your word. You ain't seen me. Now, first thing I gotta do is hit the sack.
Just go in the bedroom. Let me take that suitcase.
No.
It looks heavy.
Hey, keep your hands off it.
Okay. Sleep as long as you like. And there's plenty to eat in the refrigerator. I'll see you later.
Where you going?
I'm working tonight.
The band's still playing at the Silver Slipper?
Oh, yeah, sure. We're in solid.
Who got you the job?
You did.
And who staked you to all them music lessons?
You did.
I just want you to remember what you said a long time ago. You said you'd never forget it.
I haven't.
Okay, beat it. I want to sleep.
Sure, Augie. I'll see you.
Jerry?
Yeah?
Come here.
Well, what is it, Augie?
Hey, tell me, Jerry, what's this card?
Card?
I just seen it on the table. On the phone.
Oh, that card.
Yeah, it says, City Police Force Special Investigations. Sergeant Morton, private number 2278308.
Well, let's,
That's what?
The cops were here, Augie.
Yeah?
Well, you know, they'd be sure to come here.
Yeah?
And this cop, this Sergeant Morton, he said to me, "Have you seen Augie?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, if you hear any news at all about Augie, just call us at this number." He left the card.
And were you gonna call him if I showed up?
Augie, how could you even ask me such a question?
Were you, Jerry?
Never, Augie, never.
And why did you keep the card?
Well, you know how it is.
Why did you keep the card, Jerry?
Well, you know, Look, the guy, he just left it.
If you wasn't going to use it, why did you keep it?
Augie,
Right here, right next to the phone. Handy.
Augie, will you listen?
And all you got to do while I'm fast asleep is make one little phone call. The cops get me, and you get all the gold in the suitcase. Right, Jerry?
Augie, please.
You shouldn't have kept the cards.
Augie, you've got to listen to me. You don't believe that I'd ever call the cops?
Oh, I know that you never call the cops, Jerry.
Augie, don't. Please, you can't. You can't.
You can't even trust your own brother. What a world.
Escaped convict Augie Karo has been traced to Mountain City. He is armed, he is dangerous, he is vicious. Spokesmen for the authorities are confident his recapture is a matter of hours.
Ah, shut up. Maybe I better hole up someplace and take that powder. But it's crazy. It's got to be crazy. Pop had to be crazy. How can you just take a... Wait a second. Maybe I could get a deal out of Big Guy. Maybe. Yeah, it's me, Augie. Yeah. Never mind where I'm at. Now, just tell me, what kind of deal can we make? Oh, you mean 75%? Castle, or whoever he was, said 50. Yeah? Yeah, come over just like that, huh? And how do I know I don't get bumped off the minute I walk in, huh? Tell me. How do I know? What am I gonna do now? What? Here, right here. Right by these rocks. Yeah, nobody could ever find me here. Now, all I gotta do is take this powder. You know, I wake up, it's hundreds of years from now, and I got the gold, and I can start all over, and I got it made. I just take the powder. And it looks like I took a powder into the future. Well, here goes. Yeah, it don't taste too bad. How about try some more? I want to be gone a good long time.
This powder, Augie. You only have to take this powder.
Repent your sins, Augie.
Please, Augie, take me with you.
You can't kill me.
Take me with you, Augie.
You can't hide, Augie.
Take me with you, Augie.
Hide.
Don't kill me, Augie.
Take
no
me
matter
with
how
you,
many
Augie.
times I took that powder, I always wound up in jail. Don't kill me, Augie. Once a jailbird.
Take me with you, Augie.
Sins, Augie.
Take me with you, Augie.
Once a jailbird.
Hurry on. Let me out, guy. Where is it? Oh, I was dreaming. I fell asleep, eh? I took the powder and I fell asleep, eh? The gold. Oh, here it is in a suitcase. And over there, well, there's a car. And these rocks. And if it's 500 years later, the car should be a heap of rust. But it ain't. And my clothes. They should be rotted away. But they're still brand new. No. Oh, so the powder's a phony. Oh. How could such a crazy thing work? And I can stay here and die. Or I can go back to jail.
Augie? Augie?
What?
Augie, give me a lift back, please.
You? You're Ginny.
Yes.
You can't be Ginny. I killed you. I killed you.
Yes. You killed me. Oh, I've been for... It must be 800 years.
800 years?
You took a lot of that powder, Augie.
Well, if you're 800 years, where'd you come from?
I've come from out of your head, Augie.
Huh?
They found me inside your head.
They? Who's they?
They? The schoolmistress and her people. They found me in Castle and Pop and Jerry and the jail and the gold. They looked inside your head, Augie, and they found it all.
No. You ain't my head. You're real. I didn't kill you.
You did, Augie. You did.
Must have missed. Well, I won't miss this time.
Don't shoot me, Augie.
This time I'll make sure of you.
You'll only foul up my circuit, and I'll have to go to the repair shop, and the mistress will be angry.
This time...
Augie, we're due back at the jail for another performance, dog. Oh, Augie, why did you do that? You never...
What the... Huh. Well, you ain't real. You're nothing but a doll. You ain't real.
Augie.
Huh? Well, who are you?
You know very well who I am. I am the schoolmistress, Helena.
Yeah?
And you must come back to the cage.
Where am I?
I realize you're a member of a lower order of life with an undeveloped mentality. But still you could try to learn.
But I don't understand. I don't know.
You are the only remnant of a primitive race that once inhabited this planet.
What are you talking about?
Whether you kill yourselves off by war or disease or some other stupidity.
Hey, listen.
Or whether all of you simply left this planet, taking all your records with you, we shall never know. But you are the sole survivor. In your head, we can read the only clues to your race that remain.
This ain't happening. It can't be happening.
You had two classes of people as we reconstruct your thoughts. Those in prison and those outside.
Look, it's a gag, huh? Tell me it's a gag.
Those in prison always try to escape. Those outside always tried to bring them back. That was the business of your society.
But I ain't done nothing to you.
And so, you must go back to prison.
But why?
You must go back so that you may escape again.
But if I'm going to escape, why do I
You
have
will
to...
spend what remains of your life escaping and being recaptured.
Why?
So that our children may study you and examine the workings of a lower order of life.
Hey, I got all this gold. Let's make a deal.
Gold? We notice you have some in your teeth. Is that what it was used for? And why do you carry such a huge extra supply? Come, Augie, it's late.
I'll give you half.
You will go back to prison. Pop will give you the powder. Castle will help you escape. You will kill Castle, Ginny, and Jerry. Once again, you will wake up here. And you will go back to prison again and again and again.
As they say, there is no armor against fate. Poor Augie, condemned to eternal escape
and recapture. But isn't that everyone's fate? Don't we strive to escape our faults, and aren't we constantly being recaptured by our weaknesses? Let me recapture you in just a few moments.
You're 17. Well, that's plenty old. Old enough to know about things like grass and speed and acid and smack. We probably can't tell you anything about the stuff you haven't already heard, or maybe even found out for yourself. So we don't intend to give you any advice. You wouldn't listen. But the trouble is, neither will your kid brother. He doesn't know half of what you know. He doesn't know how dope can affect your body. He's never spent a violent night hugging a friend who was on a bad trip, or watch a guy nod off in class and fall to the floor. He's just a kid, and a real setup for anybody out there selling the stuff. We'd like to warn your little brother. Too bad he doesn't trust us. We can't get to him. But maybe you can.
An Advertising Council campaign.
And so, Augie Karo. Can you imagine? Augie turned out to be the sole survivor of the human race, and the only repository of our accumulated culture and wisdom. And it was from Augie that another race received its entire concept of our civilization. A bum rap for mankind, you say? Well, suppose you were the only survivor. What could we learn from you? From me, you can learn that we'll be here again with another mystery. Our cast included Leon Janney, E.V. Jester, Robert Maxwell, and Earl Hammond. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Now, a preview of our next tale.
Artie, you sounded just like Handsome Harry.
I am Handsome Harry, sweetheart. What? Just using Stupid's body for a while.
You are using Artie's body?
Until I learn how to materialize, if I ever do. They tell me on the other side, in that limbo joint, it takes a lot of patience and practice. Yeah, what do they know? They even told me I'm getting this hate out of my soul the wrong way.
Well, I haven't wanted to say anything.
All right,
but,
so don't. They say taking out my hate on Tex and Dory only make my hate grow bigger. Said I gotta find forgiveness in my heart. I told them to take a powder. I know what I'm doing.
I hope so.
Radio Mystery Theater was sponsored in part by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser.
This is E.G. Marshall inviting you to return to our Mystery Theater for another adventure in the macabre. Until next time, pleasant dreams.